Okay, guys. I see that we do need to do a little bit of adjustment on the camera. I thought we had all this worked out. There we go. Everybody, welcome Brian back.
How's everybody doing?
Tonight, we want to kind of go over what Brian actually does. Okay, so he works at a store. Everyone knows Shandor Music, and when they get guitars in, what he has to do to the guitar before it goes out on the floor. So before we get into that, I want to thank everyone for coming into the stream tonight. You guys are what makes it possible for us to do this. This is a small channel. We are trying to get bigger and better. So your all's contributions to that on how we can become better, we really welcome it. We want to be better at what we do, if that makes sense. So any comments or something you'd like, Brian or myself to do, that's what we're here to do. We're here to educate and have some fun. Share knowledge. That's what it's about. All right, I'm going to let this man take over. And I'm going to open up the chat, and let me see if I can get the chat actually open.
Well, first off, I just want to say welcome, everybody. I hope your week is going well. I appreciate y'all joining us here today. And real quick, before I forget to even mention it, I am on the Discord as well. I know a couple of folks had some questions last time I was in, and I was saying, I need to see some pictures. So if you can join that Discord, post a picture, then me and of course other folks on there, really great folks, we can chime in and kind of help you through many of the problems you're having.
Yeah, Discord's cool.
I love that Discord.
Yeah,
you guys did a great job with that.
Well, that's Devastator. He's in the chat. I'm sure he is somewhere in the chat. Devastator runs it. So yeah, they kept saying we needed to do a Discord. I'm kind of like but it just kind of evolved into that. It was really cool.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah, it just kind of evolved. All right. What kind of toy do we have over here?
Well, this is the Ibanez AZ22S2. This guitar, is it in the picture? Not very much. Let me go ahead and pick it up. There we go. This fella here, obviously, it kind of has that Strat look to it. It's an HSS, so we got two singles and of course a humbucker. These are Alnico magnets and our single coils, and plus in our humbucker they're ceramics. As far as the switching goes, we got the volume, of course, tone. This little switch here, which is pretty cool. Now this guy can give you more voicings. So there's a total of 9, I think, with this guitar. Don't ask me what each one of them does.
I was getting ready to.
Because I didn't have time to study that. Of course, when it's down, you have your normal stuff here. And when you flip it up, that's when you have your different phases. And it'll kind of change the configuration of the pickups a little bit as well. On Amazon, no, not Amazon. I'm thinking of Ibanez on their website. If you go on there, you can actually look this guitar up and it'll show you how all this works.
Yeah, Ibanez is actually pretty good on the switching and stuff.
It's pretty crazy what they do with it, and it's simple. That's the thing I love about it. And just pointing this out too, I love the fact that this volume knob sits a little bit lower.
Yeah.
So that way you're not slapping it with your finger when you're going at it. Roasted maple neck. It's got a nice little carve in the back, so that way you'll get some more comfort.
Did they just start doing that? I don't remember the AZs doing that.
No, this is I think this is like. I could be absolutely wrong, but yeah, I didn't remember seeing this
year. This year, new.
Let's see, what else can I talk about this guy? Of course, got locking tuners, which that kind of blew my mind at the price point, which I'm getting ready to get at the big reveal. Of course, all you folks that love the stainless steel frets, well, this has it. So you got stainless steel frets on top of that. Roasted maple neck. What do you call that fretboard? It's a Jatoba, yes, thank you.
Brazilian cherry.
You got her. So that's what makes this guitar up. It's really cool. I haven't even touched it yet, other than showing it to you all.
What is the inlay? Is that mother of pearl, or is it what? Is it just white?
Let's see here. Let's see if we get in the light there a little bit.
Yeah, it's the exact same material that's on the gem. It's not. It's some kind of white epoxy fill stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, a really cool guitar.
I actually like the grain in that.
Yeah, it's got a real beautiful grain to it. Real beautiful grain. I don't know if it's picking up there in the camera or not, but nah, it's a really cool guitar. And at the price point, they go for I think around $550. So I mean, you can't even get a stainless steel fret job for that price. You know.
I like the color. It's like sea foam or
Yeah,
something.
I think they call this one a mint green.
Mint green.
And it only comes in two colors. You got mint green and black.
Oh, I do the green.
Yeah, I think I would too, just because I love the fact it's different, and all the colors just kind of offset it.
So is that you think that's a plastic nut on that guitar, or?
I want to say if it's not a plastic, it's definitely a plastic type material. Definitely not a bone. Definitely not a bone. But if we have to carve into it, we'll find out.
See if it's a Graph Tech or something in there hiding.
Now, one swipe of the file and just eat right through it. Yep, that's cheap. Nah.
Well, yeah, the plastic, it'll just kind of...
Yeah, we eat right into it.
Yeah.
Right into it. And that's all the reasons I'll use my old file set a lot of times when I get these. So that way, I can just kind of ease into it. If I go with my diamond set, it's going to cut into it real quick.
Yeah, they feel nice.
Yeah, smooth. It's...
Ooh, that's actually... I didn't expect that. The switch is actually quite stiff.
It's actually got a feel to it.
That's actually a nice switch. Is that a box switch or a CRL, you think?
With the...
We may have to take some screws out and pick on them.
Yeah, right. And get a flashlight in there. If I had to guess, because with Ibanez, they always use these different kinds of switches in their instruments.
Yeah, some Ibanez has got, believe it or not, their box switch that they put in the RGA and the Jim. It has different poles, and that's how they do all that. They take their humbucker and make it go series parallel and all that. It's all pre-wired in that switch. So when they wire the pickup to the switch, it does it all automatically.
Just takes care of it.
It's some kind of proprietary switch and it's a nice switch.
Good for them. Why couldn't we come up with that idea? There you go.
Yeah. That's nice.
I didn't even tune it. That's the crazy thing.
So what I'm looking for, guys, to see if Ibanez cheated, and there's a separate piece of wood right here, and I'm pleasantly surprised that this is one solid piece of maple. A lot of times companies, if you look right across here, there'll be a line where they've just taken a piece of wood to glue the beak on to keep this section of the maple because they have to machine it down. But this is one solid piece of maple.
That's the thing too, like I say, with that price point, with everything that you're already getting, and then you have this on top of it, because this is actually more expensive for a corporation to do that.
Oh man. Look at the finish inside the routing.
Jupe said, I love stainless steel frets, but worry not, Avery. My other guitars have nickel, and the way I eat them up, you'll have job security.
Wow. I like nickel. Now, I'm not saying I dislike stainless. I have both. But I noticed with stainless, it seems to be a little brighter.
They are brighter. And that's why I say, too, with stainless steel, it's all about what you like and your preference. And if you do eat through nickel frets constantly, then you may want to consider going with stainless. You know, kind of help save all that time in a repair shop.
I mean, if you're a professional musician and you're playing out every night, I can see you wearing out frets in a year. But me, the way I play, even now, I play more than normal. It would take me 8-9 years to wear out frets if I just played the exact same, and I only played one guitar.
Yeah.
With all the guitars around here, I'll never.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm not going to wear out frets because I'll play this one for a little while, then I play that one, then I play this one. So, I mean, I think the Firefly, that's what I keep thinking. I'd polish these stainless steel frets on these Fireflies, and they just don't stay shiny. It's like a real cheap grade stainless.
Almost like they got something else mixed in with that metal.
Yeah, it's a really low grade stainless steel. I did a couple Devastators in the chat when I sent him his Firefly.
Yeah.
Those things, man, you could brush your hair in the reflection of those frets, and he said they're dull now.
Wow.
Speaking of Devastator, he just said Avery just wears out Linnell's frets.
Right, I'm smart, guys. Wear out her frets, and my guitar stay good shape.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. All right.
I like that guitar.
Yeah, it's a really cool
I
guitar.
like the pickguard on it. I like the look of it.
I don't know. I keep thinking of the price.
Yeah,
man,
that's
it's like, man.
$550.
And
So it's a basic dressing.
yeah, it's nothing real fancy or anything on the ends. But on the bright side, it don't cut you up.
Yeah.
So,
That's what I was just checking.
and it's kind of cool they actually, took the time and did that. And also, yeah, because even with the sides here, they got that filled in. So you don't have the fret tank popping out the sides there. So, I mean, yeah, this guitar, they took some time and, put it together and everything. So that's why I keep going back to with the price point, because with other manufacturers like Fender and such, to get a guitar of the caliber of this, it costs you, quite a bit more.
Well, I just did the 2 groats that Shandor has.
Okay.
And I swear, now, this is just me, but I think that was a 280 and 290 that I just reviewed that they let me review.
The quartz?
Yeah, the quartz. That is 100% targeted at that guitar.
Oh, man.
I guarantee it. If you put them side by side,
Yeah.
they both had locking tuners, humbucker single. The Groat had a 2-point floating bridge, roasted neck. They're very similar spec guitars. The Quart's a little cheaper than the Ibanez. And I think that was Quart's thing. Hey, here's our version of an AZ.
You know a lot more about this stuff than I do. So as far as Quart goes, because we all know that, they build for different manufacturers.
Right. What's the serial? IC?
Nah, it's 5N.
5M?
Yeah,
That might be a Sandvik or StewMac.
I got you. Yeah, because
It would start with IC if it was Quart.
there we go. Okay. Okay. Well, there we have it. So basically what I do when these guitars come in, we unbox them. Now, a lot of times I'm really busy with customer repairs, so I don't get an opportunity to take these out of the box. So, like say Jason, for example, he's usually the guy who takes them out and does the initial inspections. And he'll go over it, he'll check out, as far as the finish goes, he'll look for any cracks in the neck pockets and such like that. And any other, obvious visual defects that may appear to him. So from there, after he finishes that, he'll just kind of go over real quick, just check it over and see how it plays and stuff. And he'll do like a test play and everything, and then he'll pass it to me. And that's when it's like, okay, your turn. So I'll go through it, and I'll do, of course, take all the measurements of the instruments, like I say, when it comes to the relief, string action, nut height, intonation, pickup height. I'll check into all that stuff and make those adjustments accordingly. And also, while I'm doing that, I'm also looking for other defects that may be in the instrument, mostly within the fretwork, or if there's any issues as far as humps or anything like that going on.
Now, do you set since you're a vendor for Ibanez, are you setting it up to Ibanez's spec, or does the store have a spec that they want you to kind of be, well, this is our store, we want you to, or are you doing it like Fender says, we want our guitars set to blah, blah, blah? I know Fender has their own little...
They have their own, yeah, every manufacturer has their own specification. So the factory specs basically saying is that we're going to guarantee that the guitar can play as long as it's set to this. If you go below that, then, it's on you.
It's on you.
It's on you.
Steve, Steve says, how does this Ibanez compare to a similarly priced PRS Silver Sky SE?
Personally, I like the feel of this better, just because I like the neck better. It's a little bit, it seems like it's a little bit, maybe a little bit thinner of a neck. I'm trying to think, what is their neck radius on that PRS? Is it a 10, I think?
I'm not a big PRS fanboy, but I know the Silver Sky, they claim that's a nice instrument.
Oh, wait a minute. So, yeah, so...
That's like their Strat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, I know I just did a John Mayer one that came through, and it was a 7 1/4 as far as the radius goes.
Oh.
I did not like the feel of that guitar.
That's the hardest guitar to set up, a 7 1/4.
Yeah, 7 1/4 is weird.
Yeah, it's hard to set up.
Do you check the nut depth and make sure that the nut is cut correctly, both depth and width?
Yeah, I go through that just to make sure that the string is not catching, and also we'll check and see where the action is on the first fret. Oh, you're showing off my little tool?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, you're not going to do it, so I'm going to show it here. That's what he uses this for, guys. Look at this high-tech contraption.
Actually, believe it or not, that's what I use for the...
neck relief. That's what you
I use that for the neck relief and the string height.
It's got like a little clamp that sets on the neck.
And I use this little old fella. I had this thing for a long time, and like I was telling you, the reason why the tape's on there, because if you bump the bottom, it'll turn itself on.
Oh.
So in the beginning, I was going through a ton of batteries. But anyways, now I'll use this to do a measurement at the first fret when it comes to the nut height. And as I was telling Avery as well, I have a couple of different techniques I utilize while I'm checking that action there at the first fret. Because you can't always just depend on measurement alone. That can get you in trouble. But yeah, to go back to answer your question, yeah, I always check, just make sure the string's not binding, and of course to make sure that it's actually at a decent height. Now I'm not going to cut it all the way down to where I would personally like it, or where I feel like most customers would like it, just because I don't know who's buying this guitar. So you get a fella come in and say he wants, I think there's 942s on it now. Well, maybe he wants put 11s on there. Well, I just ruined that opportunity for him because I cut that nut down so low, and when he puts those 11s in there, it's gonna be gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I have to make sure that it is playable. It's not going to be out of intonation, but also that it's not so low that it's going to wreck it for a potential buyer. So a lot of times this here, I don't know, it just really depends on the guitar, but I found that usually for most players, 20 thousandths on the treble side, maybe 18, and usually about 22 to 23 on the bass side. And of course, in the center here,
that's on the first fret.
Yep. And like I say, it really kind of depends on the guitar. I've had some that could go lower. I've had some that actually needed to be a little higher because, once again, going back to the string gauge.
Right.
But yeah, that's mostly a lot of it. And of course, check the electronics, make sure everything's working the way it should. There's nothing, funky going on there. Make sure all the hardware is tight. That's a big one because when these guys get shipped across seas, the wood does change. It does shrink. It may swell. And a lot of times I get on these fellas here.
I was getting ready to ask. I've noticed the machine head's loose on a lot of guitars.
Yep. So, and a lot of that is from just where it's being shipped. A lot of times they have the silica gel packets in with the boxes. So that's
bass player treats.
Yeah. You know what, man? You know what?
Right. Oh,
dang it.
Yeah.
So they're getting shipped, and the wood will shrink a little bit. So you can get these guys loosened up, and that actually causes a little rattle too.
I've traced some down, and it was this little guy spinning, and
yeah, just enough.
Yeah,
just enough.
I've seen that. I've seen that on a lot of guitars, though. Mm-hmm. That just as soon as you take the string off, you're like, well, every one of these is loose.
Every one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing, I think.
When it comes to like normal maintenance, I always tell my customers, when you change your strings, check your hardware, especially that output jack. A lot of folks neglect that guy, and I get a lot of those repairs. I haven't had to resolder them in. And yeah, speaking of output jack, that's what we got on this feller.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm not. How is that captured in there?
It just pops in.
Really?
Yeah, it just pops right on in there. I'll be honest, I don't know the name of this thing. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it, but I haven't really had enough time to really play with them and get to know them to.
So I assume it's got like a plastic thing that pops out when you push it in and locks it.
I would assume.
Got a super chat from Niles.
Ooh, thank you, Mr. Niles.
Well, thank you, Niles.
He said Crown Wars begin now.
Oh my gosh, Crown Wars.
I thought I'd seen something about that in the Discord.
Everybody's stealing everybody's crown.
Oh, man.
I like the pure tone jacks. That's
Yes.
something that I put a lot of pure tone jacks in. I just think they're great. And then on the nut, because I can still use a nut, I put a little blue Loctite on it and just, I've never had you just a little bit of blue Loctite, lock it in. You want to be able to take it apart, guys.
Yes.
Don't put red Loctite on it. Put just a dab of blue Loctite, and it's not going to get loose.
Or even purple. Do something
light.
Yeah,
Something light.
Something light. Yeah, because when you do the red, then you're going to hear a lot of cuss words.
Yeah, you're taking your soldering iron and heating it up to get the Loctite to get loose. Yeah, so as far as doing like repairs, if one comes in, it has fret sprout and stuff, does it come down to you go to Jason and say, do you want me to spend 2 hours on this, or are we sending it back? What crosses the line to where a guitar is sent back for the store?
The talk about like the fret sprout part of it. Now, most of the time when they come in, I don't really see them actually come in with the fret sprout. Now, I might have it where they might have done like a little bits of kind of work while I was going down the assembly line, and I'll just clean it up. I'll just go ahead and I'll file it, do my thing, polish them back, put it on the floor. It's good to go. Now, if it's like say like a winter we had this year where it's been really bad, had a few guitars that developed fret sprout. So what we do from there is put them in the humidity room, let them bounce back, as much as possible, and then I'll come through and I'll clean them up, polish them, put them on the floor. Yeah, and that's the thing. I almost say I don't want to say it's inedible, but I mean, even for me, I keep my guitars humidified. I take really good care of them, and I still get a little fret sprout every now and again.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. Wood it still thinks it's a tree. I don't know how else to put it,
It still thinks it's a tree.
It moves, it does its thing, and it's going to expand, it's going to contract, it's going to do, all kinds of weird stuff in its life cycle. So I could send it back to Ibanez, but why? It's a huge waste, especially if it's a really nice guitar.
Right.
And I'm only doing something that in my eyes is going to be done eventually. So.
Okay, well, we want to go over the spec on this one and see what you're going to do to this one to get it ready to go on the floor, or I was going to let you use this as the bench.
I wonder if I can get these things on with these headphones.
I don't know.
You know what? I might try a blind. Let's see how
Oh
I
my
do.
gosh.
Oh, this is going to be great. All right. Yeah, we're going to move these things out of the way real quick. Now, just because I know it's a big debate, do you set a guitar up while it's laying down?
So I'm actually going to move the camera over here that we're that one and this one just a little bit, guys.
Actually, you know what?
There we go. It's a little bit better.
We can see the guitar a little bit. So the big debate, do you set up your guitar while it's laying down, or do you do it in the playing position?
Oh, now, guys, I have not prepped him for this, but we're about to hear his interpretation of that.
So, for me, I do all mine in the playing position. Do I think it really matters? Not really. If it does, it's only going to be by maybe a few thousandths of an inch, and honestly, I can prove that because I've done it.
This is what I tell people.
Mm-hmm.
If I set the intonation like this, and I tune the guitar like this,
Mm-hmm.
and I set the intonation like this, it's intonated. When I pick the guitar up and I tune it here, it's no longer in tune.
Yeah.
But it's only off like a 1 cent.
Yep.
If I tune it up 1 cent and I recheck the intonation, it's fine.
It's fine.
What you don't want to tune the guitar this way and then check the intonation this way.
No, it's going to go in now.
Vox came in late. He wants to know what guitar is this.
Ooh.
It is the Ibanez AZ22S2.
Yep. Ibanez AZ. I've talked about this guitar a couple times, guys. It's a heck of a guitar. It really is. The Ibanez AZ. I'm gonna move this up so you guys can see Brian a little better.
So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check these tuning keys because they'll probably need a little tightened. I detuned the guitar down a little bit because as I tighten this, it is going to change the pitch of that string. So let's see. Nope, we're good. We're good. Come on, grab. It's not going to because that daggone string tree. There we go. Yep, we're good. Well, we might.
Oh, did we get a good one?
We might have a good
After
one.
we were just saying they're all like that?
Yeah. Look at that. This one proved us wrong. This guitar either loves me or hates me. I don't know yet.
See? Ibanez.
I tell you. Okay, well, we don't need a spinner wrench no more. I know these guys are good. This fella's good. Output jack ain't going nowhere. Get back up to pitch.
Vox said I can't tell if it's Linnell's guitar or not. Avery isn't playing it.
Wow.
He's giving it to you.
I'm gonna plug you into the strobe tuner too.
Okay. So after I get it tuned up, and yeah, now when I'm at the shop, I actually have the headstock tuner on it, and I also run a strobe tuner at the same time. Now it's in tune, but I want to make sure these strings are seated, so I'm going to just kind of take it here, pull up at the 12th fret. Trying to make sure it's, there we go, drop down there. It's actually pretty good. And you probably notice too, while I'm tuning the guitar, I'll let go of the tuning key.
Yeah.
Because that will change the way that comes across there. There we go. Okay, we're good.
Oh, now you're playing like, what's that, Jeff Healy?
Oh, yeah. I
That
wish.
guy was awesome.
Okay, so everything's tight. I know we're good there. Switch is good, and it's not wiggling, because I've had a couple of them would come in, and these screws would be loose, and that switch would just be dancing all over the place. So the next thing I would want to do is, of course, check the relief and see what we're setting at there. Okay, put it first fret. Now with Ibanez, they're funny. So if you actually read through like say one of the manuals that comes with the guitar, they'll tell you chorus capo first fret and where it joins the body, and a lot of times they do it to E string. Personally, I like doing it in the middle of the neck. I like here at the D string. That's where I like to check my relief. I want to see what's happening here. If I get a good reading here, then I'm happy. But I've had a couple instances where it may be a little different here and it may be a little different here. So it's not always a bad thing to check different spots, but I like taking them out here in the middle. So another thing you'll see some guys do with like Ibanez techs themselves, they'll actually check the whole board. They'll fret right here at the last fret and first fret, and they'll take a reading around the 9th, maybe the 10th. Yeah, 9th and 10th fret. That's where they'll take the reading.
That's how I normally do it. I check the whole board.
Yeah, and it like, is there a right or wrong way?
We can't do that on a Fender because of the Fender hump.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on that. I've seen too many of those this week. Gosh. So anyways.
Inside tech joke, guys.
Yeah, this is my nightmare this week.
If you don't know, Fender guitars have a bad habit. Since this part of the neck is bolted to the body, adjusting your truss rod doesn't do anything right here. So when people talk about the Fender hump, it's usually right where the neck comes out of the body. Fender will have little hump. And that just changes from season to season because the neck, it's straight here where it's in the body, and then it'll come out and go like that. And they're talking about that transition. So that's a little inside Fender joke. So what's this thing right here actually doing? You've got there's a little pin that's setting on top of the string.
Yeah, it's
And then you're pushing on the string here.
So what I'm doing here, of course, got the capo here. I press right here at this fret where I got the plunger on it. I'll go and zero that out.
Okay, we're gonna switch cameras, guys, so you can get a better view of this. And I just did the wrong camera. Oh, maybe it's because I'm on main. There we go.
Ah, there we go.
So you guys can see. Oh, it's frozen. Ah, I love Mevos.
That's what you get for bad mouthing the cameras earlier. They're like, we'll show you, man.
Let me try it one more time. Nope, guys, that camera's not gonna. Let me move the camera so you get a better view of it.
Actually, I gotta take that off the headstock there too. I don't want that on there.
Okay, that should work.
Do
Now they can see what you're doing.
Do you chaps like slamming brutal death metal?
I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear.
It's do you chaps like slamming brutal death metal?
I like death metal. I can listen to any. Believe it or not, guys, I can listen to any kind of music. I really can. You know, music is music. I like grunge. I like alternative. I like death metal. I like just old metal. I can listen to pretty much anything. What I like is when artists take all those genres and they stick it in one bowl and they mix it up. Like, I love the death metal jazz or death metal blues. What you're seeing now is a country death metal. Have you heard that?
No.
Country death metal? Oh, it's freaking awesome. It's death metal with a banjo.
That is intriguing.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking cool. So I'm into stuff like that.
Blue Monk said, "Please explain exactly what that tool is doing."
Yeah, that's why we moved the camera so you can actually see the pin here. So if you look right here, guys, there's a little pin, okay, and that's setting on top of the string. So when he puts it on top of the string, he zeroes the gauge. Well, actually, he's gonna go wherever he wants right here. All right, and he's gonna zero the gauge with his finger here. And then when he moves this down on the fret, it's going to tell him how much that moves. And that's going to tell him his relief.
And I missed Bach's question. He said, Avery, the hump at the neck joint you were talking about, does it go away type of thing if you get your guitar plecked?
The hump doesn't go away, but what the pleck machine is doing is it's cutting these frets down in this location, and the frets are level, if that makes sense. So that's why, guys, I've always said, if you watch, I check my neck, okay, the wood, and then I check the frets. So when I'm doing a fret level, I personally tape it off. I put my black on the frets. I get the neck as straight as I possibly can. And when I take my sanding beam and I put it on the neck, I go real light, 1, 2, and I take it off. Because if I see that I just sanded here and here and I didn't touch anywhere in the center, that's telling me the frets were leveled without the neck being straight. So now you have to make a decision. You can measure from the neck to the top of the fret here, neck to the top of the fret here, neck to the top of the fret here, and see if there's a difference. If there is, and this fret is taller here, then you're right, okay? Because it's taller here and it didn't take any out. So now you can adjust your truss rod and lay your tool back in it and get it right. But if you do it and this is the same height as these two frets and it's not sanding here, you don't want to keep sanding. You need to adjust the truss rod to get that tool to hit evenly center and on the sides. Does that kind of make sense? Because they've leveled the frets with the neck like this or like this. It could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
So before you level your frets, make sure you're re-leveling over what they already did, or if they did it incorrectly, that you're leveling with a straight neck and you're not going to be chewing a lot of the frets off. So the fender hump is here, so you can't fix that. So what ends up happening, these frets here will be cut down more than these frets. And now the frets are straight, but the neck still has the crick in it.
Yeah.
Is that you want to take it from there
No,
and add to it?
You pretty much nailed it. And it's funny that this conversation came up because I had 2 like that this week.
2 of the fenders?
Yeah. And what the problem I was having is what we call a ski slope. So usually around here, it'll start kind of pumping up a little bit. So these frets here are going to be higher than the rest of this. And how I can kind of verify that, I can press down here to the 12th fret and at the last fret, and I'm looking for any kind of relief there around that center point. If I have something, there may be something weird going on here. A lot of times it's that ski slope. But yeah, that was, oh my gosh, that was a nightmare because when I was going through my beam, it's kind of what you were saying. It's hitting everything here except for down through here. Now, if I adjusted that neck, it wouldn't hit these frets no more because it started to develop a hump here. Necks do weird things when it's under string tension. And thankfully, I was able to work everything out. The guitar turned out great because the next step would have been pulling all the frets, replating the fingerboard, and yeah, just do that whole job. And yeah, you know, that would have been a mess.
I got it on this camera, so you can kind of go over this.
Yeah.
This is your tool, so you explain how you use it and how I was guesstimating because I don't own a tool like that.
No, you pretty much nailed it. So basically what I want to do is find a point in which I want to check my relief, in which this case is going to be at the 8th fret. So the plunger's already set over the 8th fret. I'll press it here, zero it out, and we'll say where the neck joins the body here at the 17th fret. And I'll just hold it here, left this hand up. And that tells me I have, I need to get down lower. It says 1,000. So let me check one more time, make sure it's right. Make sure the plunger's right where it needs to be. There we go. Zero it out. Press here. Okay, now it looks a little 0.02 of an inch is what I'm looking at as far as relief. So that tells me that's a straight neck.
Does that do metric?
It can do metric. So
Yeah,
if I was going to
switch it to metric.
So if we do metric, let's see here. It's kind of hard to see where I'm at. I won't let this guy up because we're going to zero it out anyways. There we go. We're in metric. So if we do it metric, now I'm going to go here, zero it out, 17th fret, and it says here, let me get down so I can see it here. 3 millimeters? Not 3, but you know what I'm saying.
0.3?
Yep. 0.0 was a 0.03. There we go.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's a really straight neck. And what I can also do here, I'm going to put it back here to thousandths.
I like, a lot of times my brain works in imperial, but there's just some things that I do better in metric. And some of the guys will comment, well, you were just talking in metric, now you're in imperial, then you're back over here. It's just my brain seems to understand, like action height, I always go by imperial.
Yeah.
But neck relief and stuff like that, I use metric.
Nothing's wrong with that.
And I'm interchange the two back and forth.
and personally, I like the metric system better. And I'll probably get a lot of flack for that, but I actually like it.
More accurate.
But it is, and it's a lot more straightforward. The only problem with myself is I have not converted to it yet. So, because for many years I've been doing under the Imperial system. So let's see here. Let's see what we got. So we're going to try here on the bass E, same way. Okay, so right now I'm reading 0.03. 0.03 of an inch. Let's try this guy again. Here in the center. All right, 2.5 is what it's saying. So I'm going to go down here to the treble E and see what it tells me down here. We'll zero this guy out. And 2.5. So that's actually really good as far as relief goes. It's really consistent. It's just a touch. I mean, just a very touch more here on the bass side. And honestly, that could be something as just a little bit of fret material. You know, a little bit difference in that. So, yeah, that's better than most guitars I've read this week. Because they are, oh my gosh. So anyhow, so if same deal, if we wanted to read, like you do the whole neck, right?
Yeah, that's how I always shut the whole neck.
I'll zero down, go 20, last fret, 2/1000. Yeah. So, I mean, this neck is really straight, and usually that's kind of what Ibanez aims for. So from all the reading I've done through, like with the information they've sent me and stuff, they go for not a dead straight neck, but usually it's about maybe anywhere between 3 to 6/1000 of an inch of relief. And their action is where it gets me. So I know technicians that do this as well. They'll set the neck really straight, but they have to raise the action out to compensate for it. So that's what Ibanez does. The neck's really straight. They'll either do their measurements here at the 12th fret or at the 14th fret. And talking about millimeters, on the treble side, you're looking between 1.5 to 1.7 millimeters as far as the factory specs go. And on the bass side, you're looking at about 2, I think it's 2 and 2.3.
Yeah, that's factory, right?
That's factory specs as far as Ibanez goes. Basically what that runs up to is on the treble side, that's 1/16 of an inch. And on the bass side, that's 5/64.
Yeah, it's going to be like 0.07275, somewhere in that ballpark.
Some of that nature, yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't like the way that feels.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a factory setup. Like you were saying earlier, they want to ensure the guitar's going to play.
So this is where you asked me a question earlier, and I don't believe I answered it, about how the store, what they...
Yeah, I mean, are you following their guideline, or do they just say, no, we want to set it up, people want to buy it?
Well, this is one thing I'm really lucky about working for them, because they just, you do you. And that's how they put it. You do you. You know what you're doing. You know, just go ahead and they don't have no guidelines for me to follow by. So what I do with these guitars, now I could set this up to their factory specifications, but to me, a really straight neck, bit higher action. I mean, you're not going to detect if there's any fret issues. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's going to be action's high.
Yeah, it's really high.
What's your opinions on Ibanez Quest guitars? I got mine done, and the 7th string still goes out of tune. They're headless guitars.
I don't know much about them. I ain't seen one, honestly.
Yeah, Shannon Doyle isn't big on the headless thing. I haven't done an Ibanez Quest, so I don't really have a position on it either, guys. I hate to say that.
But I'm thinking if you have a string that's slipping out of tune on a headless,
I would look at the tuning mechanism in the back side of the bridge. It's got to be back there. The next thing it can be, look at how the string is captured up here. Some of them, the ball end is captured, and then some of them you cut the string and there's a set screw that locks it. Make sure that set screw is actually locked and the string is not slipping up here. Okay, and if you have the ball end version where it's capturing with the ball end, make sure it's seated properly. But odds are, I'm going to say it's in that tuner, that end barrel tuner.
And kind of like what I showed earlier, I'm not sure what your process and string changes is, but I do want it all the same. So when you get your strings on your guitar, go ahead and, like I say, around the 12th fret, tune it up, come here at 12th fret, just pull it up maybe an inch. You know, you don't have to go crazy with it. I don't do the whole bending over the whole string.
They got a tool. It's a little arc, and they sit there and
I'll call those things core wreckers. You know, it's like if you want to wreck the core of your string, man, rock it. You know, do it. And that's why I just get them. I gently pull up, and just do that and tune it until you start seeing it's becoming more stable. It still may drop like a couple of cents, but it should stay pretty stable.
Right.
Thoughts on if carbon fiber is the future of guitars?
I don't think so.
I think it's a helpful thing. Just like, they put carbon fiber in the necks now. But guys, I can't prove this, but if you watch my videos, you guys will see I have some very large UAVs, and they're all made out of carbon fiber. The carbon fiber rods that they're putting in these necks are basically what we use on our struts for the back of our helicopters. It's not as strong as you think. Once it's encapsulated in epoxy and you put it in the wood, it becomes stronger. But the carbon fiber itself, as far as its lateral twist, isn't really as strong as you've been led to believe that it is. I think a 3-piece jointed neck is just as good as any carbon reinforced. I mean, it helps. I know that. Have you ever heard of Enya?
It sounds familiar.
It's an Amazon brand. They make a lot of carbon fiber acoustics.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
And there's actually some high-end guitar companies now doing carbon fiber. I think it's like anything else, guys. Once they figure out the thickness of the material, carbon fibers are resin base, so there's different thicknesses. Once they figure out how thick that needs to be to resonate and move, I think you're going to start to see more of it.
If you remember, Jupe's Kiesel is double carbon fiber rods.
Right. But that's also a multi-piece neck as well. So they're not just depending on the carbon fiber and Kiesel.
The neck is a 1-piece, quarter-sawn maple.
Oh, it's quarter-sawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it does something. It's just not what you guys have been led to believe, if that makes sense. These frames are 3mm 10-ply carbon sheets that have been pressed. And even that thick, I can take that carbon and I can bend it like that. And it won't break. I can bend a piece and it'll arc like that. And another thing carbon fiber does that you won't hear guitar people talk about, when it flexes, it creates an RF radio frequency. So, now the neck isn't flexing, but it can interrupt RF signals. So we know that due to brownouts in our UAVs.
Well, I wish I knew.
Yeah, it flexes and it creates a radio frequency. It transmits and that's why they started putting so many satellites on them, because of the carbon fiber flex. But nothing's going to replace wood, guys. Was it Dan Electro that makes the paper guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's paper. They've been doing it for years. It's like MDF. Nothing sounds like real wood, guys. It's wood. Are we going to see what Kramer tried it? Look at the original Kramers. They had aluminum headstocks. Why did the aluminum headstock not go anywhere? Well, when it was cold, aluminum contracted, and then they brought it in, set it on the stage, and stage lights hit it. The aluminum heated up, and the guitars wasn't staying in proper tune because it's solid metal. Carbon fiber is more stable. I just don't see it being something. It's a niche product, just like ball head frets. What do you think?
I'm kind of with that too. When it comes to 6-string guitars, anyways, or 4-string basses, I don't really find it necessary to have any additional help. However, I do feel that when you start getting into your, like say 5-6-string bass guitars, or even your 7-8-string guitars themselves, a little extra help probably would be nice.
I can't play a 6-string. You put 8, 9, 10 strings on it. It's like, what am I doing with this thing?
Vox said, what does an all carbon fiber acoustic guitar sound like?
Actually, the ones I've heard,
They sound pretty good, actually.
Yeah, there's some high-end companies that make some pretty nice ones, guys. Mm-hmm. I say Enya because I think you can get one on Amazon for like $200 to $300, and I hear they're not bad. I mean, if you want a good campfire guitar, something that you're not worried about, get one of those. I mean,
yeah,
it's going to be in the morning dew in your tent. I mean, you're not going to hurt that carbon fiber. Throw it in your freaking tent. If it rains on it because you've been drinking beer all night, it doesn't matter. Just leave it out on the picnic table.
Use it as a paddle.
That's right. You could use it as a paddle when you're out fishing. I mean, I think that would be a great campfire guitar just because it's so durable and you don't have to worry about it. You know, you're out camping, you're going to set it down, you know, in the dirt or prop it up on a log or something. You could throw it in the back of your car. You don't have to worry about, you know, it going out of whack or staying in the case. Yeah. There's something to it. There's something for everybody, guys. I want to get a nice acoustic. But when I get an acoustic, I want a conventional acoustic. I want a spruce top acoustic.
Yeah.
Just something.
I get that.
Potentially Work has the Enya carbon fiber travel guitar.
Yeah. So what do you think of that guitar? There's a huge delay, so it'll be like 10 or 15 seconds for it. But Enya makes a bunch of the carbon fiber stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's you can't even, what's scary is at $300, I couldn't even buy the carbon fiber to build the guitar. More or less the tuning keys, the bridge, the strings, the labor.
Yeah, and everything. Yeah, exactly.
There's more than that just in the carbon fiber sheets that they're making the thing out of.
That's crazy.
He said it's fun, but not very loud.
That'll come around because you figure you got your resonant top. The thickness of that carbon fiber is going to change. So as these companies build more and more and more out of these alternative materials, they're going to figure out what works and what doesn't work. Just give them some time.
He also said it never goes out of tune and you can beat the hell out of it.
There you go.
I mean, well, what's the old saying, guys? You can't have everything. I like certain guitars. I've got one guitar that I really like. I love the way it plays, but I'm constantly adjusting the neck. It just every season the neck just. But I like the guitar, and when I pick it up and it feels funny, I immediately know. And literally, I don't even check it anymore with a gauge. I just put the tuning, the Allen wrench in it, and I give it just one turn to where it hit the string, and I play it, and usually just a little bit more, and it's fine. And then the fall will come around, it'll get playing funny, and I go the other direction. It's usually an eighth of a turn, it comes right back. And it's every spring, every fall, that guitar needs a tweak. And then I've got other guitars that I never touch.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. It's just certain piece of wood. What was it? The Kramer Night Swan I had that guitar for 2 years. And when I first got it, the neck was moving every month. I was chasing it. And finally, when I sold it, that guitar was only requiring an adjustment about every 6 months. So it took it a while to stabilize.
I get that. Yeah. And that's the other thing, too, with, electric guitars, acoustic guitars, doesn't matter. I call it maturing. You know, it's like I say, the thing still thinks it's a tree. So, you know, you got to give them time to mature, and guitars do weird things, and sometimes it does become a thing of compromise. You know, it's like for example with carbon fiber, you know, it's like, well, don't have the volume, but I got, you know, the structural integrity and the tuning stability,
right?
Or maybe the sound you like, but you know, that's the trade-off, and I hate to say it, but in all these instruments, there's going to be some kind of trade-off.
Wicked Fester says, my Jackson Adrian Smith import version has graphite reinforced neck, and I never need to adjust it. That's good, too, because the adjustment's in the heel.
Oh.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't do anything. It's just don't think, guys, that it's like a piece of steel. Carbon fiber has flex to it. It really does. And they're putting rods, so it's round. And if they put 2 in it, yeah, it's doing something because they're applying that epoxy and it's setting in the epoxy. It's just not what you think, if that makes sense. It's not like the truss rod, if that makes sense. But it does help. If I had to pick, I think I would just go with a 7-piece neck or a 3-piece neck. I would feel just as confident with a 3-piece neck or these 3-piece that they put the walnut stripe in, the two smaller stripes in it, that neck's not going to go anywhere.
No.
It's quarter sawn. It's 7 pieces. It's stable. It's a good solid neck.
And honestly, another thing it boils down to, I mean, if you keep up with your guitar and, you know, the neck moves a little bit, you make those small tweaks like you was talking about with the, you know, that you have there. If you keep up with that, these things will last you for a good while. If you neglect them, they will go sideways. And there is always that chance you may get that one guitar that has this one neck. Like I say, still thinks it's a tree. When it starts to mature, it may start twisting and doing its weirdness.
Or it's got that one neck when you do the adjustment, the nut comes off the truss rod.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. And that was right in front of the customer, too, man. That's... Pop! Oh!
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they got their things. But yeah, if you keep up with them, a lot of times, I mean, they'll do just fine. The main thing is just, you know, just check them out. Just check them over every now and again, and they're going to move. Like, say, for example, we'll make some adjustments to this guy, and tomorrow it'll probably move maybe 0.02 of an inch, give or take. And I'll just give it another small tweak, and it'll be done for a while.
Right.
You know, it's just part of the game. I'll just put it that way. It's part of the game. You like that thing, don't you?
I do. I like this. I like the color. I do. I like the color with this white pickguard. I do. I like that guitar.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And it's got a really the roasting on it. It's nice. It's got a nice color to it. It looks far more expensive than what you're saying, $550.
Yeah.
The guitar looks like a $900 or $1,000 guitar.
Yeah.
It just has a really rich look. I mean, I like it. I got too many guitars now. I don't need another one.
I'll say I'll sell to you.
You get a commission.
No,
Yeah,
I don't get commission.
I do this. I go through guitars, and I think that's a good thing because there are some guitars that have come here and stayed. But I've got to play so many guitars. I kind of know what I like now.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, that's perfect. That's awesome actually, because there's folks that'll play their whole life and they'll keep chasing and still never find it. You know, like for example, this one, this has a 12-inch radius neck, which we will confirm. And to me, that's about my personal preference. I like something about a 12-inch radius neck, maybe a 14.
Right.
You know.
Now I played the one I really like, and it's not very common, is the 10 to 15 or 10 to 14. I like that.
You like that feel?
I like the more radius up here for the cowboy chord stuff.
Okay.
And I like the 14, 15 down here.
Yeah, I can see that.
And a lot of companies don't do that, but there's a couple companies that do a 10 to 14 or a 10 to 15. I also like the 12, like to 16.
Yeah.
But I like the compound radius just for that reason. I like more radius up here, and I like it a little flatter down on this end.
Yeah, I can see that.
Is that the Ibanez one-piece output jack on that guitar?
Yes, this is the. That's why we're gonna do a setup on this guitar. I'm really. That's why I took my screwdriver. I was gonna check this switch, but I'm gonna let this man do it. I'm pretty sure that is because I questioned that too, how that is connected in there. But now that you say that does make sense. That's probably a solid molded part with metal pieces sprung into it.
That's kind of what my figure is on it. And to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever seen one of these to even replace one. I mean, I guess that's a good thing about the part, to say about the part.
Now you guys got me curious.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull that sucker out. Strohsnyder's watching. Oh! Next we're going to take off the neck.
He let me bring that Fender Standard home, and the fret sprout was so bad on it when I returned it, I polished the frets and fixed the fret sprout. And I said, thank you for letting me review the guitar, but I couldn't bring it back to you with the frets.
That's nice of you.
Cleaned it up for him.
There's screws in there stiff, or are they coming out pretty easy?
No, they're pretty stiff. I'm just not wanting to damage the hardware, so I'm putting a lot of pressure on it.
Nah, I get that. Watch, there won't be no slack in that wire.
Probably not.
Oh,
That's
yes,
what it is. Holy mackerel, guys. Look at that. That is, I'm not a fan of that.
No, I don't like that.
Check that out.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of Yamaha does something similar to that. I'm not a fan of them.
Let me switch the camera, and we're going to spin it around so... That's, I'm going to call janky on that one. That's pretty thin.
Yeah, I'd rather see a jack plate there. And
yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But I'm really surprised someone hadn't done that beforehand. Now that I'm looking at it, going, well, that's kind of genius.
mm.
It's all about parts counts, guys, and lowering the cost of the guitar.
Yep, because like for as all the stuff, bragging about earlier, that's where you also got to consider, okay, what did they take away in order to
Yeah.
be able to produce that?
They didn't realize that the Fender Standard, their spec sheet says it has a CRL switch.
Yeah.
They did last year.
Mm.
They no longer have it. That is a box switch. And he was like, they did what? They said it's a C. I said, no, it's a box switch now.
Yeah.
So they helped the 2026 models, better fretwork, better pickups, and they also shielded all the cavities in here, shielding paint.
Oh, okay.
They didn't do that before.
Yeah.
But they took out the good switch and put a cheaper box switch in. But they haven't changed their spec sheet.
Mini Guitar Society said, I like this view. Lots of blinky things.
Lots of blinky things.
Well, yeah, all your stuff's lit up.
Oh, yeah, back behind me. You guys are kind of seeing the rack. We already lost one camera. We had 3 set up. I apologize, guys.
Wicked Fester said they claim those jacks fix the loose nut issue.
Oh, I'm sure it fixes the loose nut issue. What I'm seeing here is from a service aspect. You can't service that. That part you have to replace.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying, like with the Yamaha, they have something similar to that design. And same thing when something goes sideways with it, it's scrap and get a new part.
The only thing I see with this is this plate is so small. I don't know if StewMac or Guitar Fetish or someone that makes a plate that has this footprint that a conventional jack would thread into with a nut. So most likely you're going to have to put the bigger plate on and re-drill the guitar with 4 new holes to put a conventional jack in. And if you guys saw that when I took that out, the bore in that was smaller. So you may end up, if you want to put a pure tone jack in this guitar, you may have to line bore the guitar to install a pure tone jack in this guitar. It's pretty tight.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I see with that one.
I think it's Vox time. According to Devastator, he said he needs to let his dog out.
Yes, it is break time. So, guys, when we come back, we're going to let Brian do a setup on this guitar. So we've kind of went over everything. We've went over some of his tools and toys here. And when we come back, let's let him do what he feels this guitar needs before it goes out on the floor. So if you haven't already, guys, please go down, hit the thumbs up button, and please subscribe to the channel. We're here to be a different kind of channel on YouTube. We do real reviews here. We don't get paid by Ibanez, or I don't. Brian works at a music store, but Shenandoah Music's been very kind to me. They let me bring guitars home, but they also tell me to be truthful. So our guitar being sent here from Ibanez and us giving you our honest opinion, or my honest opinion on the check, normally wouldn't happen on YouTube. I'm telling you, I don't really care for that, because this is a weak point in the guitar.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything else on the guitar looks great, so they've saved some money there. That's what I like about Shenandoah. They trust the channel. They know that I'm honest, and I think they get that.
Yeah.
And they've allowed Brian to bring this guitar in, and they know if you see that when you go to their store, their guitars are just going to be a little better than average. And if you want, you can pay a little more, and this man will set the guitar up exactly the way you want it.
I'll bling it out for you too.
Yeah. Yeah, you tell him, I want this here, this here, this here, this relief, and that. Brian's going to look at the sheet and go, okay. And that's how you're going to get the guitar. That is worth something. So I want to say special thanks to them. And if you didn't know, you didn't have to subscribe to chat. I want you to come in, chat, hang out with the group here. Everyone here, we're all guitar nuts, and we're trying to share knowledge. So you guys in the chat, anything we're saying, it's not gospel, okay?
No.
Brian's learning, I'm learning, you guys are learning, but we all know something different. If we all throw into the soup and we all read the comments and we learn together, we all get better. We really do.
Yeah, we all get something out of it.
That's right.
Devastator said to tell Brian I want my headstock mounted to the butt of my guitar.
Done.
just buy a headless guitar, man. All your tuning keys are down here. Or what's that darn guitar that had the V and they literally put tuning keys on the butt of the guitar, and they were machined into the body. And I forget who did that. It was the strangest thing. If someone knows who that guitar company was that ground out the back of the guitar and actually had tuning keys, and you turned the guitar over and you had little tuning keys in the back of it.
Oh man, I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember who did that. It was a funky thing. But if you know, put in the comment during break. I can't remember who did that.
I just keep thinking about Devastator wants his guitar. Its head is literally going to be up its butt. I'm just...
Hey, it might be fitting for him, man. He's always
said
talking
that,
about
not me.
pinching. He's always talking about pinching butts. Just like you know. All right, guys, it's time for a break. So get a snack, get a drink, hit the restroom, and we'll be back in about 8 minutes, something like that. Stand by. We'll be right back, and we're going to do a setup on the guitar. Thanks, guys. Break time.
Break time.
Oh, I think it's squirrel time, actually.
Nice.
And we are back, guys. Oh, and just so you guys know, tomorrow I have an appointment to be dipped.
And what?
Well, it's for fret fleas, man. Gotta get rid of them damn fret fleas.
Oh, they'll get you. Every time.
All right, guys, I am just going to sit back and let Brian do his thing. I got some of my tools up here, so if he needs anything on the desk, I got some stuff up there. So we're going to go back and forth. I have this camera here that's still technically working and the one that we're using right now. So I'll just be camera commando, and I'm going to let Brian take over, and he can talk about what he's doing and why he's doing it and all that neat stuff.
Right now, I'm going to check the tuning here and just make sure we're kind of in the ballpark. There we go. Let me move this guy up so that way it's not going to rattle. There we go. Oh, okay, we're good. There we are. There's a rule. It's called ABT. Always be tuning. Always be tuning. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to check our relief. And like I said, I like to check mine right dead center of the neck. So we'll go with the D string. I'm going to keep it at first fret. We're going to do this one more time here. And I'll abide by the rules. I'll be nice. I'll fret it here where neck joins the body. So now it's telling me, okay, 3/1000 of an inch. So Ibanez tells me they want to see between 3 and 6. Now, if I go by the rule of going with 3/1000 of an inch, I'm going to have to raise that action to compensate. And I'll have to go by their specifications. But I like to test these instruments a little bit. So I know that they tell me that, you know, set up here, if you go any lower, you know, that's whatever problems is going to be your problem, right? So I don't like doing that. What I want to put this in what I believe a player would like to have it. Now, I'm not going to, you know, like I said, I'm not going to dig into the nut too hard or anything like that, but I'm going to actually give us a type of setup where I feel like, you know, just your everyday player will enjoy it. Or even if you test the instrument out, it's going to feel comfortable. You're not going to be feeling like you're fighting for it. Unless you like that dead straight neck with the higher action. That's, you know, up to you. The other rule as well is to not have like anything, even this headstock tuner on that headstock while I'm going to make this adjustment, because any weight you add to that will change that number. And I am pretty picky about that number. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. Now, when I put this in playing position, from my observation, usually from laying flat to on my lap, it usually changes between 1 to 2/1000 of an inch, not too much. So we're actually going to, I'll probably aim for probably about 7/1000, maybe 8 at the most. And that should get me to where I would want in playing position. Now, you got tools, right? Because I did not bring any...
Which tool do you need?
Truss rod wrench, Allen key, 4mm.
That's a good question.
Of all the stuff I grabbed, that's the one thing, the most important thing. Step number 1. There we go.
I think it's going to be that one.
There we go. Yeah, that feels about right. So I'm going to go ahead and make this adjustment here. I'm just going to move the strings out of the way. I'm not going to detune the guitar or anything like that. I'm not making a huge amount of an adjustment. So come on. So we're reading 3, so we're going to have to loosen this guy because we want to get a little more relief. I'm going to put it right here, see what she tells me.
Watch this, guys. Oh,
They're so beautiful.
yeah, they're very pretty. I love these.
Oh, I love them. I got to get a new... My 10 and 13 are shot. Oops. Let me get this. ABT, always be tuning, right?
So these are the ones I use, guys. Yeah, they're pricey. These are MusicNomad, but they work really, really stupid good.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They're pricey, but they're well worth the money. I use them every day. Every day. And it took, I think, let's see, 2 years. And I shot through, like I say, the 10 and 13 are shot. I need to replace them, but...
My first set I had looked like little metal wires that were flexible.
Oh,
with
yeah.
ribs. And you'd go like that, and they bent, and they got all screwed up. And I thought I'd save some money. And then I bought the straight file, like the StewMac one that had the handle. And I felt like I was going to hit the neck because to get the angle. And then when I saw those, I'm like, oh, that's the tool. Because you can get the tool in your hand like this, and you put your finger right on the top of it, and you can do your cut. And see how far forward the file is? You can get it down in the neck like that without hitting the headstock. It really is a nice tool.
There where you at? Gotta love when it gets in that awkward position where that wrench don't want to find it. Come on. Well, if you guys want to take another break, you go ahead. I'll find this thing one day.
Vox said, my rule of thumb, if my guitar setup guy's wearing a Rolex, I'm probably overpaying.
There it is.
There we go. And I'm going to aim for 7 or 8, so that should get me there. Actually, my wife bought me this Fitbit.
I want to get a different pair. I have the Gibson wrench set that has the nut, but I don't have any real guitar ones. And this one's a little longer to where the tool was out here.
Oop,
and I've had some people say, like on the Ibanez, it doesn't work because the truss rod's down. You got to get a little bit of an angle, and they want the ball-end version. I don't know. I'll probably end up getting a set of the ball end and the set of the longer ones.
The MusicNomad set. Have you seen them?
I have not.
Yeah, MusicNomad makes it comes in a case and it has all these different size truss rod wrenches. Dude, it's amazing. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I've got the Gibson ones, or for the Pearl Reed Smith that use the actual nut. That's the thin wall socket. Those are nice.
Okay, there we go. That should get me close right there. We're going to try it there and see where it goes. So we should be fine right there. And what's really cool about this guitar as well is while I was making this adjustment, it's not that far from the neutral position. So that tells me that there's still a huge amount of life in this truss rod. I get excited over that.
Okay.
Wicked Fester said, I like the T-handle truss rod wrenches with ball ends. He has the MusicNomad kit too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at the MusicNomad one. I have they're downstairs. It's the one with the nut. Like Gibson and Paul Reed Smith still use the nut, so I have that set. I think it's 1/4, 5/16, and one's metric. It's 1/4, 5/16, and is it 7mm? I can't remember, 7 or 9mm socket.
Oh, it's a
One's metric. I can't remember which one it is.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
But this is the next one I need to buy. Is a good set of real Allens.
Wicked Fester said 7mm.
Yeah, 7mm.
Okay, there we go.
That was my first guess, 7mm.
All right, I'm going to put the capo back on here. The reason why I do my string action setup with the capo on is because with this fret here, we're at the radius of the neck, or at least we're supposed to be, in theory. So when I set this action, we're taking the nut out of the equation. I know we're at a good radius. So as I'm going to make these adjustments, we should be pretty solid. Man, it's really hard to read this guy right where I'm at. Let's see.
Now the small Allen wrench for the saddles. Oh, you've got, okay. I was saying that one I was digging for the other night when I was setting up the Telecaster, and I got lucky. You got the fancy little kit.
Dude, I tell you, freaking StewMac gets me every time. So I bought this when it's $25. I actually, this is the newer set. I've had this for a long time because I bought 2 of them because I knew eventually I'd wear out the one. These things go for like $50-something now. It's crazy.
I was gonna say, when did you get that for $25?
Yeah, it's a while. It was a long while back, and I still have the old set. It's pretty worn. It's pretty worn out. All right, so now we're looking at 76 thousandths of an inch. That's just a hair below 5/64. So let's see, where do I want to take this? if I go with Fender specs, usually that's going to be around 16th of an inch. So that's anywhere between 62 thou up to 77 thou. So let's go for 70. We'll see how she feels. I feel like if I take it down to 62, it's going to get a little buzzy. All right, so that one's set. Our E string set. I'm going to roll down here, get my other E string set. Now, I know I'm not going with Ibanez specs here. I'm going with Fender because this is basically the same guitar. So I'm going to really push this guy. We're going to take it down to 3/64. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to 55 thou. That's what I'm going to aim for here. This will be a nice low action on.
I like that. I'm going to have to get me one of those tools.
It's helpful.
I like that.
It's really.
I like the concept on it.
Yeah, it took me a
See,
minute.
I have to make an adjustment, check it. I mean, you're just looking at the gauge and making the adjustment.
Mm-hmm. And I'm watching the number change while I'm making the adjustment. So that's the beauty of this. But we're going to go old school when it comes to the rest of it here. There we go. Let me just put this here off set. I don't want to break that thing. I'll cry and everybody will laugh at me. It'd be a whole thing. Be a whole thing. So let me go and tune these strings up again because I always say ABT. Come on, tuner. Want to know something really wicked? I stacked this up, this little D'Addario headstock tuner, with my Peterson at work, the strobe tuner. And you wouldn't believe how close that sucker is.
Yeah, Linnell has the exact same one, so look at your E here.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the strobe.
Dude, that's crazy.
Hers is
Yeah.
hers isn't quite as good as that, but it just kind of moves like this. On the
Yeah.
strobe.
And that's how I...
And something I noticed,
Mhm.
when the battery gets low, she has the exact same one, it doesn't read very well.
Yeah.
It needs to be at like 50% or higher on the charge.
All right, so Ibanez tells me this is a 12-inch raised
Oh,
neck.
look, you got a little keychain ring for
Yeah.
yours.
Oh, heck yeah, man. I'm bougie.
I like that. I'm going to do that to mine. Mine are all loose.
I used to use a bread tie.
Now, who makes that set? That's a huge freaking...
I don't want to say, man. Everybody's going to think I'm a fanboy.
Oh, my gosh. That's a monstrosity.
Yeah, this set here is actually for
12 strings.
Well, it's like 7, 8-string guitars or 6-string basses. And since I see so many different types of instruments, I'm like, I need to get the wide set. The only downside to this set is if you have a Telecaster that's got the ashtray style bridge.
Oh, okay.
Bridge plate, I should say. Yeah, you're not getting it in there.
That's too funny. Let me switch cameras here so you guys can get a better view.
Okay.
That's a monstrosity.
So we got...
I got to show the difference between mine and his.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Look at the difference in those two tools. That thing is a monster. That's too funny.
But yeah.
No, honey, I don't service enough guitars to justify the $80 but that thing is huge, man.
I bought this set years
So
ago.
funny. It's like an inch hanging over on either side of the neck. It's like,
yeah. And when I bought these, this band I was jamming with at the time, I played a 6-string bass guitar, so I needed something to help me,
yeah,
get
I can
that
see
raised.
that.
Okay, so multiple readings. I like to take a couple different ones, just see where I'm at, looking for any daylight or any rock, and we're sitting at 12.
Look, they're really running with that. Brian's got a bigger tool than you.
I was waiting for that. That's why this group is awesome.
You know what I do sometimes?
What's that?
I'll set my radius. Now these,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the radius is, but let's just pretend that this is the right radius. I'll put the gauge in here and I'll just kind of lift it up to where it's touching, and I'll start checking my other strings to see if they ring out just by applying a little pressure here.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do it right at the base of the bridge. You can bring it up right back here. Just kind of pull up.
Mm-hmm.
Hear the A?
Mm-hmm.
So we're hitting here, here, here. For a true, if you're pitching it, I've done that too, checking my radius on my strings to the bottom side. People go, well, you could check the top. Yeah, I guess you could, but I feel checking it from the bottom. That's why I like the StewMac, because this radius is is an offset from this one. I just like doing it. I don't know if you've ever done that. Checking it that way.
Well, here's
see
how
if it rings out.
Yeah, this is how I set my string height as far as the other strings. So my 2 E's are set to where my target's going to be. And if I really want to be particular, sometimes too, I'll even check the fret and see if the fret is at a 12. Because there's often times, and I've came across this, where the fingerboard can be at a 12-inch radius. That fret might be, say, at a 10.
They had a squirrel that was sitting there going like this, and the fret now goes whoop on the bottom side.
That, or they didn't, like I've seen a couple times this week, they wasn't hammered down to the fingerboard. The downside is, when I hammered them in, you know what happened to the ends? It came up. So, okay, well, we got this fight on our hands.
Have you ever had one where the fret is up and you put the call on it and it just won't push down?
Yep.
And you're like, oh shit. The kerf in this neck isn't deep enough. And the freaking fret tang is bottomed out in the bottom. And you got to take the cutter tool that comes in. You got to sit there and dig into the thing to get the fret to push down. Or you can cheat and take your Dremel tool and grind part of the tang off the bottom of the fret and then press it in.
See, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that part.
Yeah.
What a pain.
I've done it both ways. I think it's better to clean out the track. I don't know. You guys post, which way would you do it? Would you Dremel tool the bottom side of the tang for the clearance? Or would you take... The problem with that little tool is when you put it in there, it likes to tear out when you come through. So you got to drop it and pull into the neck, drop it, push into the neck. And you can't get a good path. Because as you're cutting like this, it likes to tear out on the back side of the neck. Now you got to fix that.
My G string was too low.
That's what I told her.
I'm waiting to hear the jokes. Where's the jokes, folks? Don't disappoint.
I was just like, yeah. So that G string's got to be a little lower, honey.
Okay. Okay, so we're good there. So I need to lower the A, D, and B. I like to use light for this. So I'll even come in and I'll kind of tap on the back and see how much wiggle room I might have here, which I got a little bit. And like Avery was saying, you can even pluck the string, let it ring out, make your adjustment until it deadens out.
They're freaking nice saddles.
I was thinking that just now.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you all carry extra grub screws and stuff at the shop so when this happens? Or is that something that's up to the customer? Do you ever replace the grub screws when they're sticking out or take them out and grind them?
Nah. If it's not on a brand new guitar, it's usually, it depends on the severity. Like say, for example, if this bridge was dropped down, those screws were sticking way up. And obviously at that point, it's like, okay, well, it's going to need a shim, next shim to correct that, you know, or you can replace the grub screws with short ones. It's something that manufacturers don't cover, and I don't like putting shims in under the neck on a brand new guitar. I don't like doing it. So if that was the case, I would consider that a bad neck angle, and it'll go back to Ibanez. Some of that nature.
Yeah, what I'll end up doing on stuff like this, I have 6, 8, 10, and 12 millimeter black and stainless steel grub screws downstairs. So I'll swap them out.
Here we go. Make a little more adjustment here.
That's the difference. Now, guys, what we're talking about is a store setup. We're not talking about someone paying extra for a setup. So if you're doing extra on a setup and you said, look, these scrub screws are sticking out, I want this guitar corrected, that's something that you can pay a good shop, and they'll change out your grub screws, because this is something that's going to catch your wrist.
Yeah, I've had that on a Strat years ago, and I tell you that nothing makes me more aggravated than that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I keep those in stock. There's a company called Monster Bolts.
Yeah. Okay.
Stupid high quality hardware. I mean, stupid high quality hardware.
Okay.
I mean, you pay for it, but it's good quality hardware.
ABT, folks. ABT. Thank you. All right.
Now you done changed the string height. Now your intonation's going to be all out.
Right. You know, a lot of folks get this one wrong, but if folks, let's have a trivia question.
What do you do first?
Nah. When it comes to intonation,
Sharp or flat? Is that what your question?
I'm trying to find the best way to word this so folks can get what I'm trying to ask them here. So when it comes to actual the intonation, what is it about, we'll say, the distance to the saddles, obviously, right? Our scale length. What affects it the most? What is the thing, what is the one thing that affects the intonation? Like what helps? Like I say, it's really hard for me to ask this question for some weird reason. Was it a thing about the string? I'll put it that way, that affects your intonation.
I kind of don't know where you're going with it.
So, I mean, obviously, scale length is what matters.
Yeah, your length and the gauge of the string changes intonation.
Mm-hmm.
The length of the string changes your intonation. Mm-hmm.
You got any answers yet?
Vox said it's never too long. That's my wife's guess.
Didn't disappoint.
Wicked Fester said action.
Yeah.
I mean, action, don't get me wrong. It can, it does have an effect with the intonation because it's distance traveled. And you're stretching the string, right? So when say if you got high action, you're pushing out on the string, you're actually, it's creating a more of a distance.
Backwoods Billy says scale length, it's going to be the nut.
Yeah, the nut does have an effect on it. Same reason why high action would as well. Yeah. So,
Vox said action height and bridge angle.
Believe it or not, no. Well, action height, yes, but
your bridge angle will affect what that does, guys, is based on the fulcrum. So the reason you want the plate parallel is supposedly in the parallel position, the bridge, when you move it back, okay, the string's lower. When you pull back on your bar, your string action height gets lower. When you dive bomb, it'll actually raise the action height. So they want that bridge plate to be parallel to where supposedly that's the sweet spot, but
Devastator said pickup height.
No, I mean that can definitely have an effect on it.
It's magnets.
But what is it about the string itself that really creates the intonation? What is it about the string itself?
I'm going to just say the material it's made out of, or the core if it's a wound string.
So you're close. You're pretty much on it with that. So kind of think of acoustic guitar. So when you have an acoustic guitar, a lot of times it has a wound third. So you'd see this saddle here pushed forward, right? Usually it's a little forward than the B string.
Right.
The core of the string is what determines your intonation point.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, scale length too, but you get what I'm saying.
Wicked Fester said new. Vox said diameter.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that come into play. That's why I say, guys, sometimes you chase it
Billy said the gauge of it.
because you gotta get your action height set first,
Mini
and then what I'll do is I'll cut my nut, and then when I cut my nut, that's gonna also alter my action height. So I'll set my action height where I want it to be. I'll cut the nut to that action height. Then I'll go back and double check my action height. I will not go back usually and check the nut. Once I get those two things right, then I'll do the intonation. But you got to do neck relief 1st, then I guess height, then the nut, double check your height, then intonation.
Mini Guitar Society said distance from the magnetic field.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those things have an effect on what the intonation does, whether, you know, it's sharp or flat, etc. But it's the diameter of the core of the string.
I thought he was asking when you set intonation, what is
It's
it better
such-
to be sharp or flat? I usually, if I'm going to be off, I want to be off on the flat side. I always found flat is more pleasing to the ear. I don't know if you
Yeah, I like mine.
believe
Personally, I like mine just a little bit on the flat side. Maybe not so much on the bass strings, but maybe a little bit there towards the treble side. It just really depends on the guitar, but I kind of feel you on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so without the capo, I'm reading 72 thou on that feller. So that is 16th of an inch plus 10 thou. And over here, I'm going to be reading 63 thousandths. So 62 thousandths is 60th of an inch. So we're just a hair above it. Not bad, not bad. And that is actually technically within the ballpark of what you would set a Fender. Not an Ibanez, but like I say, we're gonna push it because I don't like their high action specs.
Someone now has just put they're beating their head against the desk going, he set an Ibanez up to Fender spec.
Well, I mean, it's this the scale length's there. I mean, it's you know, other than the 12-inch radius, it's all pretty much the same. So now let's visit the nut here. Let me go ahead and get this guy on my way.
I kind of like this. I might sit here and just play my guitar and let you work.
That's cool, man. You get to test play when I'm done. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm pushing down on the 3rd fret, and I'm tapping right behind the 1st fret, and I'm looking at the light, or I should say the distance from the bottom of the string to the top of the fret. You want a little bit. You don't want a whole lot there. And this actually isn't bad. This is actually pretty good. I'm going to take a real measurement here. That one could probably come down a little. That can come down. That can come down to here. Now, since this is a stored stock, do I really want to cut into that nut? You know, it's, once again, I got to be careful with that, because if they decide it's 942s, if they want 10 to 46, if I cut these low, then, you know, I'm going to have to cut them a new nut.
Well, if any of them look a little suspect to the other, you could do a fine tune.
Let me see where's my, oh, there it is. That's where this guy's going to come into play here. So I'm going to slide over here.
I think this camera angle, guys, will be a little better for you.
So I do a couple of different things when I'm looking at the nut height. I don't have one way of doing it, because every guitar is different, and I see each one taking different measurements. So I want to see where this guy's reading. All right, so right now I'm 17 thousandths of an inch. I'm going to call that okay. 18 thousandths, right?
Now show them what that tool is doing. It's cradling around the string, and then the two arms here are pushing it.
Well, what it is, it's got these two arms here, which I'm using to kind of hold it in place, right? And the string goes in between here. I'm not going to say the legs, because then, you know, it's really going to blow up. We got the plunger that comes down, and this is what actually reads the height. So when I take it here, I'll set it down. I'm holding it flush. And how I like to do this is I'll lightly push down, I'll zero it out, and I'll release. And it's telling me 22 thousandths.
You guys see it move right there?
I'll do it again here. And what that is, the string will actually push the plunger up, and that gives me my reading. So, yep, 22 thou. On the G, I could say I'd probably say 18 or 19 thousandths would probably be good for that one. Then we're going to move to this fella. We're in 24 on the D string. I'd like to see at least 19 or 20. 25 on the A. I want to see 22 and 26 on the E, 23. So a little bit on the high side. Is it worth me cutting into? I might hit the G. I'm contemplating. Because a part of me is like, I just want to set it up. I just want to make it sweet.
What is the G string?
That would be 16/7. Then we'll say it's
16.
Yeah, so 17 will work just fine. Oh, you didn't put the little stickers on them?
I didn't put the stickers on.
I don't blame you.
It just says it on the blade.
All right. So when I cut this down, I'm going to come down at an angle, like basically the direction of the string. So we're going to go. And I'm not trying to take a lot of material, and this will take it quick. We'll set that guy there. Put our string back in place. I'm going to do a little tap test. And it should be close. Should be close. What am I reading? All right, reading 20 thou. So I want to let's give it a little bit more here. Same way. I'm going to come down at an angle. There we go. Make sure I blow that out.
Devastator said, "Is it plastic?"
It almost it feels grimy. I don't know how to explain that. It's
It looks like plastic.
yeah. Okay, I'm at 19th thou. I'm gonna leave it there because, like I said, I don't want to cut it down too low. Okay, D string's at a 23. You can see you got a 24 thou over there. Oh, we're gonna cut that one
Sure
down.
I do.
And that vast collection. Thanks, sir. There we go. Same
Assistant, I need my scalpel.
Well, earlier Steve said you're no longer a squirrel, you're a gopher. When Brian needs a tool, you go for it.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Hey, I can go from squirrel to gopher.
Let's see. And I'm also listening. Obviously, I can't really hear too much with the headphones on, but when I'm tapping on this here, it's creating a high-pitched sound, which tells me there's very little amount of gap between the string and the fret. And according to Greg Voros, Grown Guitars, he says what you want to aim for when he was teaching me that little method. All right, I think the next one is a 32. And so far with pulling these up, they're not capturing. I'm not getting nothing sticking there, so it's a good sign that they've been cut properly.
Now tomorrow at work, he's not going to be able to function without his gopher.
I'm gonna be calling you up, Dave.
Hey, pass me the 32, man.
Yeah, where you at, bro? Yeah, I don't know.
Can you guys hear the tink, 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 tink?
That's what you want to hear. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out here. Okay. Maybe about 23 thousandths. I'll take it down just a hair more, just a hair more. And yeah, I'm leaving a few little marks here on the nut where I'm moving these strings. Not a big deal. That'll clean up pretty easy. There we go. That should got it. Should get where I want to be. Yeah. Take another reading. Yep, 22 thou. I'm happy with that. And I think this one I said was 26. Yeah, 26 thousandths. We're going to take that down to 23 thousandths.
Which one you want there? You want 42?
Yeah, it'd be a 42. Thank you, sir. Let's see where we're at. Yep, 23 on the mark. There we go. All right, that's money.
Money.
There we go.
Which string height tool is that?
This is actually made by a company called G-Tech. They only sell their stuff on eBay that I found anyways. And I bought this here a long while ago. It's been my go-to for a long time, but it's a nice little digital reader. Filler gauges, I've done it that way for many years. I don't really trust my eyes as much anymore. So, yeah, that's what I go with. That's why I've been moving to digital on a lot of my stuff. So let me go ahead and put that there. So we're good here. Let's see. Where is it? There we go. ABT. Always be tuned.
Always be tuning.
Good, 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 good. Yeah, hair sharp.
You can't see it, guys. My tuner's over there, but this tuner's reading pretty close to my strobe.
Yeah, I highly recommend these, the Dario headstock tuners. Like I say, it's up neck and neck with my Peterson at work.
The only thing I can say about these is they detect vibration. That's how they work.
Mm-hmm.
Do not drop it.
Oh, yeah, I've heard. If you do that.
Do not drop these because it affects the unit that detects the vibration in it. So if you drop it, just double check it with a tuner. Don't drop it much. I think it would seriously affect its accuracy.
And I don't know if it's a sensor or something in there that
I'm not sure.
But
it's reading vibration, so it's not a tool that you want to drop.
Yeah.
Jupe says, probably a dumb question, but do the wound strings cut the nut over time with tuning?
It does. I mean, it could take a while, but yeah, that's where you get that string wear. So as you're tuning the guitar, I mean, you just got to kind of think of, that dragging across that material. And eventually you'll get to a point where you can, either have to repair the nut or replace it, whichever you prefer.
Right.
Now, coated strings, the beautiful thing with those is of course, with the coating on there, it actually puts a layer between the string and whatever it may be making contact to, whether it be the nut or even the fret. So that actually helps, I don't want to say prevent, but it gives you a lot more lifespan, so to speak. So I highly recommend coated strings. One, because corrosion. They don't corrode as fast, and two, it does kind of help when it comes to wear and tear on the instrument itself. Do I think coated strings last longer? If you play the instrument a lot, to me, what wears out in the string mostly is, one, oxidation, but two, wearing out the core of the string. So that's where I can't say that if you play the instrument a lot, that a coated string is going to last, longer in that aspect.
I don't know what the XS D'Addario are. That seems to be my latest flavor.
Yeah.
I like those and the XL.
Mm-hmm.
I played NYXLs for a while, but I noticed a lot of fret wear on my guitars. But I think the only coated or special, I played Dean Markley Cold Blue Steels.
I heard those were good.
And they were cryogenic froze or something.
Yeah.
But you can't find them anywhere anymore.
Really?
But I played those strings for years. And Roger, the old owner, that owned Shenandoah, he said, "You're playing out, you're sweating.
Take these.
After 2 sets and 3 or 4 weeks out, the strings still, you're sweating. They would just get nasty in 2 weeks." Those strings did not screw them up. Just
awesome.
Sweating on the strings. If someone knows another brand that's like the cryogenic Cold Blue Steels that will take that abuse, those are the ones that I always play. I don't play out anymore, so I don't sweat all over the instrument. I've got a couple guitars, the back and the neck is just like brown and black from the sweat.
Yeah.
Soaking into the mahogany, and it's like, it's pretty grummy looking.
So I'll ask you, how do you set your pickup height?
I'll get this pickup to where I like a lot of bite.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna set this pickup just by ear, by bite.
Okay.
These two pickups, I am gonna set to this one based on my meter.
Okay, I got you.
That way, when I switch, it doesn't boom and volume. Now, if I end up cranking this up, okay, and it's just too high,
Yeah.
then I'll go, okay, I gotta lower this.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
So I'm gonna try to get them to where when I'm switching,
Yeah.
that the tube amp doesn't go screaming on one position or the other.
Okay.
It's just a user thing. That's how I've always done it.
No, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all, because you're actually using your ear to fine tune your pickups.
Right. I just don't want to on stage if I'm in the center position and I switch down to the lead. I do want that to be a little bit of a boost, but I don't want to have to go, oh my gosh, now I got all this gain and attack.
Right.
You need a little something, but at the same token, you can have a hot single coil. So sometimes when you bring this up, it's not that it's over, it's just too close and becomes too brittle sounding.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, okay, do I lower it and take the gain reduction? Or do I get it to where it sounds right and then just lower this pickup to blend? I try to find that comfortable spot to where they're happy.
Okay.
And there's not a big, huge difference in my amplifier.
So what makes pickups complicated for me is because everybody's playing style is different and everybody's ear is different. So things Avery hears, I may not hear, and vice versa. So even as a technician, now I can play through an amplifier and I can go through and balance them out. But then the customer may get like, you know, I want to change this or chat, you know, and that's perfectly fine because, like I say, it's tuned into their ear. So what I do for the store is I'll start with just basic measurements for these pickups. Now, this middle pickup here on the single coil, most players are playing over that, so that's going to get brunt of, you know, I guess you can say, I don't want to say the vibrations, but you know, it's going to, yeah, it's going to get a lot. So how I do it, I'll set my bridge out first. I'll set this guy probably a little bit lower than I'll set my neck. Just because when they're playing this guitar, they're going to be playing over that pickup, which means it's going to be putting out some more output. So I'm going to do that now, but I'm going to have to do this in playing position because I ain't going to be able to read my ruler here. And the reason why I'm doing my pickups right now instead of the intonation is because I got my string height where I want it. Everything's where I like it. And if these pickups are too close, they're going to be pulling on those strings and it's going to knock the intonation out. So that
makes sense.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I argue that, where they say set the pickups up last. I say if you want to fine tune them, that's fine. You know, whatever. Whatever. There's no rule against that. But before I start my intonation, I want to make sure these are in a decent spot. So right now, the bass side is at 5/64, and that's exactly where I'd want it. Treble side is around 1/16 of an inch. That's doable, but I'm going to just take it down to 5/64 because this is going out on the floor. My guitar, I would have it at 1/16 of an inch. So 5/64 both sides. Now these pole pieces here are actually adjustable as well. So if you have your pickup set and you're like, you know, this G string might be, you know, a little weak, or the D string, whatever, you can actually raise and lower these guys a little bit.
You can EQ your pickup just a little bit.
And how I personally start it is I'll actually match them to the radius of the strings, and then I listen to it, and then I make my
adjustments from there.
What's going to make this guitar complicated too is because since it has 9 different voicings. Can you imagine kind of trying to tune these pickups into that? Well, it sounds great here, but when I do this and flip this and there, it sounds weird. Yeah, I don't want a part of that. So this fella here is sitting at 330 seconds. I'm going to take that down to 430 seconds, which may be a little on the low side. We'll know when we listen to it. 330 seconds, same deal. I'm going to take that down to 4. And say we're playing over that guy, so. And I don't know if anybody else has this problem too, but I always had a problem with the pick hitting that daggone pickup when I play my strings.
Yeah, the center pickup. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll raise up a hair more.
You're not the only one.
Thank God. I'm not alone in this world.
You'll see a lot of professional players that center pickup is down low.
Mm-hmm.
And signature guitars, that center pickup will be wound hot because they're setting it low. They're trying to compensate for it.
Okay, now I'm going to put this here. Actually, I lied. I meant to say I'm going to have this a little higher than this guy. This is going to be at 3/32. If I have to, if this pickup with the bridge, if they kind of fight each other, we can always lower it down too. But this is where we're going to start up at. All right, ABT, always be tuning. Actually, I'm going to lay this guy right back down, because we done made those adjustments. And I ain't got to worry about those pickup magnets interfering with our intonation process here. Turn you back on.
So you guys can see the other tuner right there. Plus he has a tuner right there. And what I've noticed with the D'Addario, it reads just a fraction sharp.
Just a fraction sharp?
Yep, just a fraction sharp.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Intonation time. You say a fraction sharp? Where we at here? Okay. Looks like we're a little flat there, aren't we?
Well, check your open. Yep, your open's right on.
Okay.
Just drifting a little bit.
So we'll go ahead and we'll push this fella forward. And that's the other thing when it comes to setting intonation. When I'm doing a customer guitar, I actually set these saddles back a little bit because I'd rather have that roll of the string be behind where the takeoff point is instead of in front of it, because that can actually affect.
I just know something, guys. On this bridge, it has machined grooves in the base plate for the grub screws to ride in, so the saddles are captured, so they can't walk.
I think we're good.
What's your first fretted note? See that, guys? That's a pretty good nut set. Just a fraction sharp.
And that's going off the Peterson, because if we're looking at the D'Addario, we're pretty much right on the money there.
Yeah. So when you guys are saying, how's he doing that by checking his first fretted note? There you go.
A little flat. Once again,
That's why it's nice having Brian in. It's a different approach. It's a different way of doing things.
come on. Turn B for daddy. There we go.
Now see, you're sharp on the open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just, Linnell's D'Addario reads just a little sharp to the Peterson.
Ah, I like that. Yeah, let's put it forward a little bit. There we go. And you can probably tell too, I'm not taking it easy on the string. I'm not trying to hit it too light or whatever. I'm just hitting the string. Come on. I'm trying not to bend the string while I'm doing this. There we go. I'll take that. Dude, I like this tuner.
I'm gonna go back and check your B here.
Yeah, good.
See, guys? It's a straight fretted guitar, so don't drive yourself batty doing that. But if you can get that first fretted note close, your open chording is going to be so much nicer sounding when the nut's cut and your first fretted note. That's why when we do reviews on guitars, people go, why is he checking the first fretted note? I know a guitar is going to sound good with open chords if you've got the nut cut right.
The money chords. And there we go. Want to check the first one? I'll let you do it. Yeah, Donners. That one can probably come down a little bit.
Well, that's a G.
Mm-hmm.
The G is always sharp.
Always the wonky one.
Yep. The G is always the wonky one, guys. That's why everyone talks about the G popping and slipping, and that's pretty normal on the G string.
Yeah, moving on to D. And I know we got a lot of guys on here that work on guitars and such, but for the folks that might be joining us that doesn't quite understand what I'm doing here, as far as how I know which way to move this saddle, I call it follow the tuner. So
I like this idea.
So you got your 12 o'clock position. So if we go to the right, it's sharp. If we go to the left, it's flat, correct? So if we take that aspect here, if we got flat, we go to the left, right, towards the nut. If we go sharp, we take it back. Follows the tuner.
I like that. Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm looking at my initial strike. I'm not worried about the note as it kind of trails off because it's going to lose vibration. It's going to go flat anyways. So let's see. Yeah, a little bit more. This guy needs a little bit more. There we are. Yeah. This is going to be the one that's going to be a little tricky. There we go. It only takes small adjustments at a time. Come on, Dan. Come on. Take my hands off this thing, might help it.
It's still going flat.
Yeah.
In the open. It's being finicky.
It is. It makes me wonder how the quality of the string is. Actually, that's what I'm wondering.
In other words, you're thinking that's a D and DR.
Yes.
If you set up guitars, guys, you'll get the joke.
Uh-huh.
Oh. I played D/R strings for about 2 years. If you plan on playing D and R, you plan on resetting your intonation every time you put strings on the guitar.
I mean,
No consistency.
and that's the thing, because DR strings, I mean, they're handmade, hand wound, or you want to say it. And that's what the inconsistencies come from, human hands.
Yep.
So
they're nice strings, but
yeah, they are nice strings, but man, when it comes to this,
yep. Plan on intonating your guitar every time you put strings on it, if you want it to be right. That's why I stopped playing them.
I gave that one a big adjustment because it was way out. Yeah, a little bit more. A little bit more ain't gonna hurt it.
And you're gonna set the intonation on the E to D, right?
Sure.
Cool.
If that's the way you like it, man.
Do some drop tuning. Now I'm just playing. It'll be close enough.
I can tell these bass strings are a little wore.
Yeah, they don't. The E and the A both. I'm watching. You can tell a good set of strings too when the tuner locks. Mm-hmm. It'll just, when you get it in tune, it'll bam, and it just holds that tune.
So you know what that means? If I have to change the strings on this thing at some point, it's in the store. Yeah. I'll be hitting this again.
You know, I always wondered about that. These manufacturers get strings from D'Addario and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you know, Ford and Chevy, when you go and you buy a car, like my new truck has Continental tires on it, you can buy that Continental tire that's on my Ford at the tire shop,
yeah,
but it's not the same tire compound. Ford goes to Continental and says, okay, we want this tire to these specs, and they change it and get it cheaper. But the one you buy aftermarket is Continental's formula. So I wonder if these guitar manufacturers go to D'Addario and these other string manufacturers and say, can you make us a string at this price point for these guitars? And they cheapen it just a little bit to get it. I've always wondered, do they, because I know tire manufacturers do it.
I could see that as being a possibility.
You remember the Ford Explorer Firestone debacle, don't you? That's what that was about.
Really?
All the rollovers.
Yeah.
Ford spec'd that tire, and Firestone built it to Ford spec, and then Ford threw them under the bus. Yep.
It don't surprise me none.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Now, the reason, like I said, I deviated from how Ibanez does her stuff is because I want to test this guitar. So with the action being a little high, we're not going to be able. We could possibly skip over any wonky frets. And I could go down this thing, you know, with a fret rocker and stuff. But if I had to be real.
Oh, let's fret rocker it, guys. You guys want to see the fret rocker.
Yeah, so I'll use yours. I like these.
Oh, you're going to fret rocker it?
Yeah.
Okay, you fret rocker it, and then I'm going to fret rocker it.
Nice. That's good. Now, I only checked 3 points. I'm only looking for the middle and the ends. A little bit there. Yeah, so you can kind of hear it there. And that's the thing, because none of these things are perfect. But it's the imperfections that are problems what I'm looking for. Because I guarantee you, it's actually doing better than I thought it would. Oh, I think I might have found one. Yeah, I've got a little one there. Okay.
This is my favorite part.
You love this part, dude.
I love fret rockering.
Rocking with the fret rocker. A little bit there.
Ibanez is letting me down.
Tell you, man, for $550.
The Court,
Right there.
both of them.
That's
both
a
of
good
them.
one.
Holy. Both of them, the frets were awesome on both those Courts. There was, the one only had a spot on the 23rd fret, but at the B down to the high E. Mm. And there was a little tiny spot around the 15th, but it was just barely there.
I'm trying to see if that's I can't see to see if that's actually, maybe that fret might be popped up a little bit. So I'm gonna, when I get back to the shop, I'm gonna have to see if I can take care of that fret. I've got another one there too. Well, a little bit there on the ends. Yep, they're all on the ends. It's every other one. Let's shorten this feller up a little bit there on the end, a little bit there in the middle. Yeah, so this guy, and this here, I usually don't care about this guy because if it rocks, that tells me this one's low, and that's what it's supposed to be. But it ain't rocking, so that means it's the same plant. Here you go, sir.
All right. Let's check this thing. I got it. The other handed, so I gotta flip it around, guys.
Oh, here you go. Let me move this stuff out of your way.
Let's see what we got here.
It's awfully quiet.
Yeah.
This is like your meditation.
There's, I mean, so right there's, so that's a high fret. Because if I move it down, it's solid, solid. So B to the E. Right there.
Devastator said he's thunkinating.
High. High. Solid. 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 So that is a high fret. And the reason I move down, guys, if it rocks here and I move it down when it rocks again, that's definitely not what, that means you got a low fret and you're screwed. So that is a high fret. So that's 3. Right there. Solid, so that's high, high, solid, solid, still a fraction high, solid. That's 4. That one was the worst one so far, guys, because it was halfway across the neck. That one's really freaking bad.
Yeah, that one's hitting hard.
It's a high fret. It's not rocking and still. That's the pretty much the whole fret. It's from the A all the way down. again, from the G to the E, so that's 6. Another one, solid, solid, high fret, still rocking. Solid. So that's 7. It's only one really bad one, guys, so far. The rest of them, I don't think would hurt the playing of the guitar. A little bit right there. It's a high. And it's continuing to be high. It gets worse as it goes to the low E. So it's 8 spots. So out of the 8, I'd say there's one really bad one, 2, The rest of them, I really wouldn't. Unless you wanted it perfect.
Yeah.
But this one over in here somewhere, that one's really bad.
And that's basically what I look for when I'm going to this. I'm trying to find these guys.
14th fret.
Yeah. So
the 14th is bad.
See if I brought my filler gauges real quick. Because if I did. Yes. We're going to see if we get a filler gauge underneath her. Because we want to see, 1, if it's actually seated. And 2, if it is, that just tells me it's just material. All right, would you say it's 14th there? All right, let's see what we get. Yep.
Oh!
Yep, see right there. So the filler gauge, this is 2 thou filler gauge, so I'm going real thin. Oh, it's getting pretty tight up there. So, and it slips right underneath that crown on that one side. Let's see here. So yeah, right there. So that'd be one that first I would try to hammer in and see how it does. And if it doesn't want to hammer in, then she'd get glued.
Yeah, so would you weep some CA in that if it wouldn't hammer in and then just recrown it?
Yeah, I just
kiss it and recrown it.
Yeah, what I would do with this guy here, actually, I would take some ultra thin CA, go ahead and wick down it, and I would take my clamps, put it on there, let it do its thing. When it cures, I'll see if it actually went down.
Right.
If it didn't, then I'd come through with my fret kisser and I'd knock it down and stuff. Yeah, because 1 fret to me isn't worth sending the guitar back to the manufacturer, because odds are they're going to send me another one and it's going to
be the exact same thing.
It's going to be the same exact thing. And it kind of goes back to Sweetwater, for example. There's a reason why they offer that Plex service when you buy a new guitar. It's kind of the same deal. It's no different than me doing a fret level if somebody wanted to
to do the extra.
Yeah, to do the extra, and that's what it's about. That's what it's for. But yeah, if one's problematic though, and it's causing issues with the actual playability of the instrument, then I consider that, I hate to call it a defect, but we're going to call it a defect, and it's going to be taken care of, or it's going to go back.
I doubt, even though that's rocking that much, I doubt very seriously that that's going to create a playing issue with this guitar, guys. Let's see. I knocked the volume down. There's a little bit of buzz there, but yeah, as high as that is, it's just barely buzzing.
How about on that E string? Yeah, just I was kind of expecting that to be worse.
You hear it right there. Yeah, it's a little bit. That's what I was saying, guys. On these setups, you know, you can go through it. I've leveled frets, and depending on the action height, still have to go back and fine tune a couple frets here or there because you'll get a little buzz.
Yeah.
Because the string's isolating a little funny, or you got to go back and add a little bit more relief. You know, that's something else you could do to this guitar. If you don't feel comfortable, if you own a guitar and it's doing that, you can add just a little bit more relief to the neck, and that might disappear.
And that's the thing too, because right now, I mean, we're only at 7th thou relief.
Right.
From here to here. So, and even, for example, Fender, they call for at least 10th thou.
Right.
So with that being said, pretty straight neck. The action, bit on the low side, you know.
Right.
Lowish side, I should say. Could be lower. Well, it always could be, but.
Yeah, it's. It's not so low it's choking it.
Yeah.
No, that's a comfortable. That's a comfortable playing height. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, drop it to D. I love that chord, man.
Yeah, that's a cool chord. It's a badass chord.
Okay, now let Brian play.
Brian's not playing tonight.
Brian's a bass player, guys, just so you guys know.
Wait, okay, we got this. You got a clean channel.
I do have a clean channel. I just gotta find it. Where's my clean channel? There you go.
There we go. All right, here we go. There you go, see bass player. Let's see how it sounds on it. Man, look at that. You played so hard. Killing the tuning, man.
I do play a little aggressively. I've had comments on YouTube like, man, you're beating the piss out of that guitar.
Oh, actually, it does feel good.
You have to move your mic thing in back behind. There you go.
Chords. No.
There you go.
And that's the other thing too, is after I set them up, that's pretty much how I kind of test. I've strung a bunch of chords randomly, just kind of go through it.
Right.
Lead lines, just try to, find and just kind of listen to how they're reacting. And sometimes just the old school chromatic scale. Now the little rattle that I'm hearing from the strings, it's like, it actually could probably come up a hair, you know what I mean? Or maybe just a little added relief.
Yeah, I think I would just put a fraction more relief in it.
Mm-hmm. I would expect. Yeah, see, I figured that'd choke out.
It's not bad. The strings are set tight.
They are really tight.
They're set tight.
But yeah, even looking at that, like, oosh.
What I was looking at, I wanted, if we could, take the tremolo bar out.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show everyone what I saw in the back of this guitar, guys.
Yeah, and that's one thing too. I know we didn't dive into while I was on it, but that's another thing I look at is, of course, how the trim bar here, or I should have, bridge reacts, and it's being pretty tight.
Yeah, it's tight.
Because if someone's looking to buy that guitar, I don't want them having to crank down on it.
It's tight. But what I noticed looking in here was the routing and how it was sprayed. And it looks like it has a machined tremolo block, guys.
Still like how he carved that.
Yeah, it's a cool guitar. I just like that they didn't put a seam right here.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm disliking about it is the jack.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I'm not liking the jack.
Oh, check out.
I mean, that is so freaking clean. Check this out, guys, how clean this guitar is in here. And notice, now who wants to tell me what this is for? If it's in the chat. Why would Ibanez do that? If you listen to a tremolo guitar, you'll hear the spring effect.
Mm-hmm.
From the springs, it'll translate into the strings of the guitar and the pickups pick it up. These are isolating dampeners. And it's to take that cling from the spring out of the guitar. But look at how clean that route and stuff is in there, guys. I mean, that's... The only thing I see is right here, there's a scratch. That is not a step down mark. I don't know what that's from. But that's all I'm seeing. It's really clean. And I saw that when we had it upside down, I was like, oh my gosh, look at how clean that thing is in there. Yeah, but if you look at this claw, they've got the screws.
They got driven in. Yeah.
Way in. They want it decked.
Mm-hmm.
They're wanting to keep it decked.
And I know in some Fender models they'll do the same thing.
Yeah,
like, especially with Squires and such.
And something else, guys. I know you're thinking, oh, wrong camera. You guys are thinking, well, of course they put a hole there because the strings go through the tremolo block. Believe it or not, I have reviewed guitars where the screws go through the tremolo block and they did not drill this out. And you had to take this off the guitar to put strings on it. So they did think about you. They do have the little things there. Did you want to adjust that, or are you going to leave it
No,
stop?
I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it when I get back to the shop.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to visit that fret. That one's a little too high. Makes me nervous. And that's the other thing, because they have it routed out too. If you wanted to, you can make the adjustment to these screws without having to remove the plate.
Right. That's a nice routing. The only other thing I want to peek out is I want to lift up the pick guard and see if it's a box switch.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's here, guys. Inquiring minds want to know.
Why not? We got it.
I've talked to them a couple times about bringing an AZ home for a review, but we've never actually done it. Because I've always been intrigued with this model, but I think the sweet spot, in my opinion, from what I've been hearing, and this is all hearsay, the sweet spot on this model is about $1,200.
Yeah.
It's not the premium $2,500 one, and it's not. They seem to say the $1,200 one, the pickups, everything. It's DiMarzio pickups. It's got all the bells and whistles without the premium price tag of the $2,600 model. I'm pretty sure the $1,200 one has the 510 Godot bridge with the Godot tuners and DiMarzio pickups. Someone can Google that. I'm pretty sure. I don't think you have to go to the Prestige or the Prestige model or the J Custom, which is their their stupid priced guitar. I like the guitar. I mean, to me, that's a pretty guitar. And it had a good sound too. I didn't go through all the pickup selections, but it's not overly bitey.
Yeah.
But it would be a decent variety guitar. Oh, I forgot. We're gonna check the switch, aren't you?
Oh yeah. We got it. We might as well go ahead and get in there and see what's going on. And that's another little tech tip for folks. When you're taking out a screw, take your fingers here and pinch around it, so that way if the screwdriver slips,
Bink.
You'll stab you and not the guitar. Yeah, I want to go up a little bit higher
Yeah, we just want to peek in.
Yeah. I'll take this guy out here out. That should do it. Come on. There we are. Would you like to do the honors?
Yeah, we have to flip it around for the camera. Get it flipped around so the camera can see here.
Oh, there you go.
All right, let me change camera angles. Yeah. Okay, who wants to guess? CRL or a box switch? It is a box switch. So it is using that Ibanez proprietary switch with all the plug. And yeah, I'll let you. It's a freaking cool switch. And Ibanez, I don't know if we can put it on there. You can see it. It's a Hong, made by Hong. See the H guys on the side? It's a Hong box switch. And on the back side of the board, it's going to say Ibanez. So Ibanez has contracted Hong to make this switch. But if you look at it, you'll see all those wires going on it. On the back side, there's a printed circuit layout.
Oh, okay.
So they can take those wires, and when they make the contact, it'll like take these and put them parallel, or drop a pickup and make these parallel, or these two parallel, and then series wire.
Yeah,
Instead of you got your white and your red being bonded.
Yeah.
There's two terminals on that, and as you go through, like this position might be series.
Yeah.
And then the RG, not the RGA, the Jim does that. Yeah. So you guys can see what's in there. We do have dime-sized pots. And they're using, I don't know if you guys can see this in there. Can you guys see the JST connector right where my thumb is? So they're using a JST connector. You guys see the JST connection? Right there. So basically, this right here, if you push on it, this will unplug from this circuit. Same thing, they got a JST back here as well. That's pretty cool.
So you
Pretty fancy wiring.
And that's the thing too. It's like I say, you have 9 different options. But look at the simplicity.
Yeah.
It's you don't have to, have 4 switches. Well, have your guitar look like Brian May. Not knocking on Brian May's guitar. I love his guitar. I think it's great.
I knew Fender was big on that. What was it, the Jaguars or something? They had all the little. I was just never into those switches. I looked at it going, what in the world? But I know some people really like them. I just never really cared for all these switches.
Yeah, I never did either. I don't think I could.
I couldn't remember what all of them did. I'd forget.
Nah, that's what me. I'd screw up mid-song or something, go to switch it out and get all nasally.
One's a
weird.
kill switch and you're going, did I unplug?
There we go.
I like that guitar. The only thing I'm not liking, guys, is the jack. That's the only thing on the guitar that I see that I don't really like. And you're saying this is $550?
Mm-hmm.
So same price as the Jim.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's $550. How much was the Court 280, honey?
Which one was that?
That was the first one. That was the humbucker single. Was that one $599 or $699?
I think it was $5.99 because I think the other one was $7.99.
Okay. If I had to compare these two guitars, at the Court at $599 and this one, the Court's better. The Court's a better guitar. More bang for your buck, and the frets were much better on the
Cleaner.
Court. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
And the pickups in that Court really sounded good.
Yeah, I didn't want to I wanted to say it while he was playing, but when you was, because listen to you play the telly earlier, I
Yeah.
was like, that one sounded better.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
I think, I'm not sure if these are the quantum single coils. I kind of doubt it since this is an AZ. Let's let me see if we can go to. Let me see if we can go to Ibanez, guys, and let's actually see. Actually, see if Ibanez will tell us what this thing is. Latest news. I just want to find a guitar, electric guitar, and you're. This is the just a regular AZ or AZ. It's probably this one. AZES standard. What's the model number on this one on the back?
This is a. Trying to think.
Doesn't say. You said it earlier. Is it S31?
I think it's an. Wait a second. It's a. Oh shoot! I remember I had to write it. It's an AZ22S2.
So it's probably in this model. AZS.
Yeah.
Oh, right here.
That's a Prestige.
Is that a Prestige?
Yeah.
These are all Prestiges.
Huh.
Okay, well, it's none of those. We're looking for it, guys. We're not,
Is there a search bar?
That's a good question.
Oh yeah, right there, top left, next to the menu.
And you're saying it's an AZ
22S2.
22S2?
Mm-hmm. There it is, yeah. Because it comes in black and this green.
So they're saying that it's a classic custom S neck pickup, passive Alnico. It's not saying if it's an Alnico 2 or what. Let me see if I can drag this over on this other screen, guys. Display. So here's the Ibanez specs. So they're saying it's a Class M Custom X neck position. It's the exact same center position, passive Alnico, and a classic Cummins Custom H. So it's not using the quantums.
They got the strain gauge wrong. I see that because I measured them before I packed it up.
Width, thickness, switching system. So here's what the thing is doing. So what I don't get is which orientation. You think this is probably that direction towards the neck, right? You think? Would this be towards the neck?
I would say, I feel like if it's down, it's probably just like your normal switching. If it's up, it's probably your alter switching.
Alternate switch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can see right here 1 and 2.
Volume. All right. So this is 1 is down.
Yeah.
So in the 1 position, yeah. So these two are running parallel? No, they're just running them together. So this is parallel with the stripes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, series connected. They're series connected. This is parallel. So there's the pickup configuration. This is what I like about Ibanez, because the striped, it's telling you exactly series, this is parallel, and then off.
Yeah.
Steve said the bridge appears to be ceramic.
Yeah. Yeah, right here, the bridge pickup. It's a ceramic. It says that the two single coils are Alnico. Roasted maple neck, heat treated to create increased stability. Jatoba fretboard. Jumbo stainless steel frets, locking tuning keys, alder body, classic pickups. We already went over that. So this is a T106 tremolo. And what I was saying right here, there's little grooves cut in it for these grub screws to ride in that base plate. So they're saying it's a Dana MIX9 switching system. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, guys.
The refrigerator's making noises.
Yeah, I heard the refrigerator hollering.
It just dumped some ice.
Guys,
It'll fill up in a minute.
do we have any questions before we end the stream?
Yeah, it's
There
about
it
time.
goes. Now the refrigerator. Honey, I'm going to mute your mic. Oh, nope, it just quit.
No, you're good.
We got any questions? I don't know how many people we still have in the stream. I know it's been a long night, guys. But I appreciate everyone coming in and checking out the stream. Hopefully you guys are liking the content. Ooh, there it is. So do we have any questions before we take off? I mean, this is going to be, we're going to talk to Brian again, see if he wants to come back next week or if we're going to wait 2 weeks. I'll keep you guys posted. It's completely up to Brian. He's more than welcome to come and hang out. I personally like the guitar myself. I do. I like the Ibanez. I think Ibanez builds a heck of a guitar. But we're about honesty, guys. If we got to compare this to the Court, I feel the Court was just better. A little better for the price point.
From what I heard, I'm not a fan of the pickups. I felt this guy was a little weak, this bridge pickup. It just sounded a little weak to me. But that's just personal flavor.
I didn't really...
And I'm kind of with you on that output jack. But other than that, it's a great guitar.
DMT guitar says, I think all the settings are gimmicky. Is there really that much of a sound difference? Can they really emulate a humbucker with single coils?
Well, it does have a humbucker in the bridge position. So, you're not really emulating. It's going to be more, when you put these two together, when they're wired, is it wired to where it's noise canceled? And that's how they've wired it.
You said they're too far apart to cancel out the hum.
Yeah, it does. Fender, there's companies now doing what they call ghost pickups, and they're bad for a Telecaster. Like a Telecaster's routed out right here. So what you can do is you can put what they call a dummy pickup in, and you put the pickup in the guitar and you face it in any direction, just bury it down in the guitar. So what that does is that's going to decrease your 60 cycle hum. It's not going to pick up the strings that much. It's buried down below the pickup. Believe me, a lot of these professional guitar players, if you pull the pickup, there's going to be a dummy load.
Isn't there is it like the Brad Paisley Telly or something like that? It's got that pickup that's...
Yeah, it's sunken.
Yeah.
It's hidden. You don't even see
Something
it.
like
They're
it,
just
yeah.
doing it to kill the 60 cycle hum. So that's the bridge. Let's go up to our second position. That one feels a little anemic to me, like it's struggling. Here's our third position. 4th position. It's got a funny quack.
Yeah.
It's got a...
That might be good with the blues grit.
It's got a funny... Yeah, it seems to be more voiced for... Yeah, it seems to be more voiced for that. 5th position. It plays nice though. Yeah, it seems to do better at that kind of stuff, guys, than the high gain. It gets a funny, do you hear it? It's like a funny on the high gain. It has a sound. I'm not going to say I dislike that.
Yeah.
It's very quacky. I think it's pretty much voiced for that quackiness. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I'm hearing. You guys post what you think. I mean, we're not really reviewing the guitar tonight. I don't want to go through all the different pickup settings, but it has a quacky sound. What I found with the Court, it did well on clean and crunch, and it gave you the quack. But when you went to high gain, it also just
drove it home.
It really did. This one seems to be a little weaker on the higher gain stuff. So you guys post what you think. That's just our opinion, or my opinion. All right, guys, we're gonna end the stream. I want to thank everyone for coming in tonight. If you guys gave a super chat, thank you so much. That's what funds the channel. I guess on Saturday night, I don't really know what we're going to be doing. We're not going to... A guitar came here. But I don't know. I have to talk to the owner of that instrument to see whether or not we're doing the review Saturday night, or we're going to wait till Thursday night, and that'll be dependent on Brian if he's coming back next Thursday. If he's coming back next Thursday, we might review this guitar on Saturday night and then do a gear hangout maybe Monday night or something. So I want to thank everyone for coming in. Like I said, it's you guys that make the stream possible. Hopefully you learned something tonight. I know I did. Watching Brian with his tools, kind of doing things a little differently. I'm kind of like, oh, I never thought of that. I never thought of this. It's nice to see somebody else doing things and how they approach it.
Devastator said sounds better than the Infinity pickups. And Steve said the pickups sound better than the ones in the Donner DST 550.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I like the sound of it. Okay, every guitar can't be a super high mod, high distortion guitar.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at this guitar and it's a humbucker single, I look at it as like a working man's guitar. I think the Court did that a little better as far as how it handled the clean and how it handled the dirt. I think this guitar has a little bit more quackier character sound to it than the Court, but the Court, I think, did more things a little better, you know. And that's, pickups guys are taste.
Yeah.
So that, as far as the way they play, I think the Court played a little better. And that's just me. And that can be the shape of the neck. That can be a lot of different things. I bonded better with the Court.
Steve said, did I hear Friday night review?
I'm going to be honest with you. I would try to. It depends on Avery's condition tomorrow. I'm going to the dentist tomorrow, and I may not be able to speak properly tomorrow night.
That makes it entertaining, though.
This guitar right here, what do you say?
I love to see the closed captioning on that.
Big squirrel cheeks with the gum. That might actually be funny. You guys let me know. If I feel up to it, we might be able to do something tomorrow night. We'll have to see how well the dentist goes. But again, guys, thank you so much. And I'm going to let Brian do the closing. And then, of course, we're going to end with our 5-minute end chat. So you guys will have 5 minutes to chat. So it's your floor, man.
Well, one thing, thank you so much for having me out again. This is a blast. And yeah, I mean, something I just enjoy doing with you all. And it's great to have you guys as a community coming together. We can, like I say, discuss all the stuff, shoot ideas. Get on the Discord if you're not. That way you can also participate in that. And also, if you have questions, if you want to post pictures and stuff, I get on there on the occasion. So, and there's a couple other fellas on there I noticed that are highly knowledgeable that can help as well. Also wanted to thank, I'm pretty sure my wife Samantha's still watching. So, hi honey, I'm still here.
She's gone.
It's the couch. It's the couch. But my brother William, I know he's still watching stuff, so thank you. Also, my mother, which kind of surprised me because she's usually in bed, but when she knows I'm here, she's like, I'm staying up and watching
Really
this.
cool.
But anyways, I really appreciate all of you guys. This is a really great thing, and hope to see you all next time. Until then, you all have a good night.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We're going to do our 5-minute ending window. We'll see you, worst case scenario, Saturday night. Thanks, guys. And I got to hit the right button. I don't know which one it is. Intermission, live. I think it's ending.